All right. We're trying something new today. We're watching live matches. We're streaming on YouTube for the first time. I've streamed on YouTube before. I've streamed on Twitch before, excuse me. I've never streamed on YouTube. So let's see how this goes. This is WizzyHatG versus Elisy. Let me see if I can do some research on these guys between matches. We're a little behind. We'll get caught up eventually. But, yeah, we're here. We're doing it. All right. Starmie getting out of Mag's way. Oh, Mag going for Endure. And that's actually kind of nice for Elisy, because now you know that that's Endure Select Mag. Sorry, I'm getting like all sorts of notifications. Fire Blast Mence, not even 2-hit KOing Blissey. That's crazy. There must be a fairly defensively invested. I said Blissey, I meant Celebi. We got the meta coming in. Both gamers looking like they're quite all right on time. We're still not quite caught up to the live match, but we'll get there, folks. Slaking in, and not even actually clicking a button. Actually pivoting the HeyYa in on a protect. Okay. And we're subbing up. Swampert just going to click a button. And that's kind of scary, because if you miss the Hydro Pump, that's not good. And HeyYa representing a berry, because it has no leftovers. Doesn't quite get put into range, though. And yeah, you can't... Oh, wow. Look at that. That's Swarm Megahorn, I imagine, folks. Because that did 65% to Swampert. That wasn't offensive Swampert, though. So, not sure what the calc is. Maybe this could be Guts, but that seems like it could be representing Swarm. And that means a lot of things are going to be not overly happy to come in on this. Wonder if I'm actually live. I sure hope I am. Okay, cool. I am live. We're live. We did it. Hell yeah. Oh, did not mean to hit that button. Skip this. Continue to YouTube. Yeah, this chat feature is not working. Live. Refresh this. Well, we're finally live on the left, at least, or on my left monitor. Close. I can only imagine that this chat is going to work. So if and when somebody chats, we'll hopefully be able to see that. Where's my Discord? It's all the way over here. Okay. All right, so we've eliminated the Swampert with the Swarm HeyYa. HeyYa gets to click 1 to 2 more buttons. And HeyYa actually Rock Slide 69. Got a flinch on the zap a moment ago, prompting WizzyHat to apologize with the sorry. No problem coming in from Elisy as well. And this is the last opportunity for HeyYa. It's really fast. Switch the T-Tar in, and we're sacking T-Tar instead of Starmie. T-Tar clicked Earthquake. That's all we know about it. So wanting to keep the Starmie alive. Maybe just hoping for a Megahorn miss. Not overly sure if that's the right decision. Could be. Maybe Starmie is what you need here. But can it kill a slacking from 66%? Whoa. Aggressively pivoting the Mence in and dodging a Hydro Pump. This thing does have Ice Beam. So that was kind of a wild call. Because now you're still getting outsped, and you're sacking the Mence to Ice Beam. To do what? To get the slacking back in when it already was in. That's kind of wild. That's a little crazy. And Hydro Pump will kill after Sand, after all. So now Doug is going to have to kill absolutely everything. It matches up against the Magneton and the Metagross well, not going to lie. I don't think it can kill a meta from 100% though, without a crit. And who knows what the last is. But yeah, Doug's going to come in here. And the Mag is going to come in. Oh, it's Endure Select. Yeah, that's tough. So is the only out to Rock Slide flinch this and then Rock Slide flinch the Metagross forever? Because if you click Earthquake, it Endure Selects, it HP Grasses, and I'm pretty sure that kills. Doug is just so frail. Doug is a frail Pokemon indeed. Elisy has 60 seconds to make their choice. Maybe they're already kind of thinking about what team they're going to be bringing to a game 2. Ghostfall 22 and PK Leech are also playing a match. We could check that out as well. This is only in a turn 2 situation. This one, yeah, the Endure comes out. They are going to elect to click Earthquake. Magneton outspeeds, clicks HP Grass, HP Ice. Oh, doesn't kill. So you're saying there's a chance. We do see the meta. You need a crit Earthquake. You just simply need a crit Earthquake here. Do you have one in you? WizzyHat saying, uh-oh. Oh, and it's actually so close to getting there. That's crazy. All right, let's check out Ghostfall 22 versus PK Leech. I'm going to try to get... Try to get some information on my screen. Let me see if I can figure out the records of these players. PK Leech, the 4th seed. So you imagine that they're likely 4-0. Let's see if we can verify that. PK Leech. Oh, PK Leech actually lost their 3rd match to Gonza Sario 50. And they won their 4th match. So this is a 3-1 set between these two gamers. All right, and we're back. Can I pop this out? Yeah. Nice. All right, that will be helpful. We're learning as we go, folks. And probably bring this here, and then Discord lives there. All right, looks like Leech is taking some time. Had Scarm in front of a T-Tar and pivoting the Mensin. That's the first click we've seen from T-Tar, so good job kind of scouting out the mixed Tar and getting Scarm out of harm's way. At only 46%, I'm pretty sure that would have died. So how did Scarm get so low? It's like it took a Surf from Swampert, took 2 Surfs, and Chip healed up a bit. And what else did we miss? The Scarm toxicked the Tyranitar. It consumed its Lumberry, so staying at 88% or lower for the rest of the game. Yeah, and both of them pivoting some mons away from these possibly mixed threats. I mean, that could just be physical Ments. You could always see Brick Break on a mixed Ments as well. So have we seen Swampert do anything but Surf? No, we haven't. Leech gets their own Swampert in. And nice Surf click. I mean, that hits... Well, we've seen the Swampert, but it hits both of these Mon. And this could have been mixed Ments. I think a lot of the time it will elect to click HP Grass. It could be bluffing that it doesn't have it, so that it can try to, engineer a scenario to click it later. maybe trying to lure Ghostfall into a false sense of security, so they'll leave the Swampert in a second time. It's both leftovers. We're not seeing anything crazy like Endeavorpert. Zapdos coming in. An excellent Ice Beam click. It's less damage versus the Swampert and the Skarm, but it destroys Ments, and it happened to hit this Zapdos quite nicely. This one comes in. We've seen it Baton Pass before, and it's now Toxic. Does Baton Pass Zap ever run Rest? WizzyHatG and Elisy have started their match, their game 2. I think that is game 2. I'm not seeing an earlier game in the queue from them. And we get the Swampert in. And Swampert stays in and takes a Toxic to get another Ice Beam on this Zapdos. Could this Zapdos be HP Ice? Or maybe it was expecting a switch out, and that's why it didn't click the HP Grass. But then again, we were speculating, could this be Mixed Ments? Could this have HP Grass? It's possible that the Zapdos is running HP Ice. And this is a Rest Zapdos. Surf Ice Beam. It could be Surf Ice Beam, Refresh, Protect. But I guess if you're running Refresh, Protect, you're more likely to run Toxic yourself, right? Over Ice Beam. So this Swampert may not be long for this world. It is in Torrent range. It could just send out a pretty big Surf. I suspect it could 2-hit KO from this range. And I'm not seeing a lot of things that love to switch into it. And yeah, you can always switch the Ments in, but Ice Beam is still a perfectly fine click here, and it completely eliminates the Salamence. So depending on what Leech has in the back, we could be seeing another Mon revealed here. But nothing's overly enthused about taking a Torrent Surf. Probably just could kill Skarmory at 46%. It took 2 Surfs earlier, and I think it took like 30-something. 37%, yeah. So 50% more is absolutely going to kill Skarm from that range. This Swampert has taken Surfs. It took 31%. So it would likely live if you want to switch the Swampert in. And Leech down to 2 minutes on the timer. And we see a Magneton coming in to take the Torrent Surf. And it has to sacrifice its entire life. We're 15 turns in. It's still possible that Ghostfall could have a Spiker in the back. Maybe a bit unlikely. I think often you want to try to find a way to get it in pretty early. And the Ments will come in and revenge KO the Swampert. Swampert got decent chip, eliminated a Magneton, and it's unclear how valuable the Magneton could have been for Leech. We don't know what's in the bag for Ghost yet, but presumably we'll find out soon. And this Toxic Zap is back in. We've only seen 2 Baton Passes from it, so again, the rest could be anything. Blissey comes in and gets Baton Passed on. And looks like the Blissey answer is going to be Meta. So Meteor Mash goes fairly hard here. Skarm and Swampert are absolutely able to live one, but you hate seeing an attack raise. This Zapdos is sleeping, could try to come in. It will be the Skarm. And that is an attack raise. We haven't seen Protect yet. Could decide to go for a Protect chip heal. But now this is not what PK Leech wanted. And yeah, they will lose the Skarm. If Ghostfall has a spinner in the back and eliminates this, they're in a pretty decent position. A lot of this stuff is chipped fairly heavily. Blissey's healthy, but Zapdos is asleep. And Swampert and Ments both at half health. And you got to find an answer to this meta. Where do you go from here? Salamence can outrun, but I mean, looks like it's going to be the Swampert. And I wouldn't expect the Swampert to be faster than the meta very often. And it's not here. Additional attack raise is crazy. Earthquake doing damage, but with 2 attack raises, meta can click a lot of buttons here. Not a third one, right? Doesn't get the 3rd attack raise, but Mence comes in, outspeeds. Surely it has a button that will do 24%. And do you just let the meta go and then allow yourself to pivot something else? No, we're holding on to the meta. The meta's going to come in and step on a spike later, but it is still here. We could try to... It can outspeed and try to blow up on the Blissey. The Meteor Mash is still excellent. And we've seen Fire Blast from T-Tar, so this might not have a great way to pressure Blissey either. I think that was wise of Ghost's Fall to keep this meta. We need a way to pressure that Blissey. And Drill Peck Zap. Finally see a second button from the Zap. If it has Rest, this is probably where you click it. You could also Baton Pass on Blissey deciding to stay in. We haven't seen any of it set either. And goes for a Drill Peck. That does 25%. That's a second Drill Peck. Wish is honestly like the perfect button to have clicked there. Because you can soft boil now, and then basically nothing that this Zap decides to do is going to be very meaningful. Tries to get like a Thunderbolt para or something, which is going to heal Blissey nearly up to fruition. I have so many windows open right now. I'm trying to stay organized. Fruition. Excuse me, folks. I'm going to tweet out the link to this live stream. Try to let some folks know what's happening. And that's another attack raise on the meta. Wow. It did 43% before the attack raise, so there's nothing that can switch in and take this. Something is going to have to die. Unless you play to Ghost Fall missing the Meteor Mash, which at this point PK Leech might have to do. That might be one of your only outs, is to hope that it misses and take the line that takes advantage of such a miss the best. The Zapdos says it's just clicked Rest apparently, or it switched out and hasn't spent any turns asleep. And it's going to burn a sleep turn and go down. No additional attack raise. And the Salamence, again, the Salamence can come in. And this is huge now because we don't know what's in the back for Ghost Fall. Meta can't come back in. It's going to die to that spike. So I think you could switch out and keep it as a spike sack. But you better have a Blissey answer in these last 2 Mon, which I imagine you do. It can't just be meta. This is a mixed tar. It's, Drill Peck Zapdos isn't enough to fully pressure Blissey, right? And a Swampert. So there has to be something else in the back. Who knows what it is, but I'm expecting them to have some way of dealing with this. There we go. Oh no. I just saw what happened. That is unfortunate. Mence goes for Rock Slide. Was it Choice Band? Could have been. Because I'm pretty sure Brick Break gets there. But maybe it was like, listen, I got to kill this thing with Rock Slide so that I'm locked into something that can... I'm not sure. I'm not sure because because Brick Break is good into the Tar. Maybe he's thinking like, I'm going to have to Rock Slide flinch a lot of freaking Pokemon to win this. And Brick Break is simply not going to, even though it's better against the Tar, like I just simply lose to whatever these two Mon are. Maybe that's the idea. Let's see, is this match over? This match is over, and it looks like Elisy won. I guess that was like a 2-0. I gotta find a way to keep my chat window open. All right, PK Leech, Ghost Fall 22. Oh, this is the game that just... Oh, no, this is game 2. Nice. We're back. And that's pretty rare. I'm gonna switch this for continuity. It's funny. I was just talking to my buddy Shoto about this, like leading DD Tar and just like clicking Dragon Dance. I feel like you don't see it very often because DD Tar needs support, and how much can DD Tar accomplish? I guess you're expecting like a switch out from the Zapdos, so that's helpful. But depending on what comes in, maybe if it's a Scarm, you're happy to like get like a big Rock Slide. PK Leech is going to be taunting the enemy Scarm. That's a huge advantage in this matchup. Denying spikes. This one basically has to leave. You can get the Zapdos in. Just gets a second layer. Just going for a second layer in that spot. And wow. Scarm just happy to take a Thunderbolt and go down to get a third spike up. And Blissey at 28% is coming in. It's got to be healing here. So how does Ghost Fall try to punish this heal? Do you try to get a spinner in? Do you have a spinner? We didn't see those two Mon from Ghost Fall because the meta got so many attack raises that we never needed to bring them in. I think my buddy Shoto is going to get an activity win because his match was supposed to start like 45 minutes ago. And I told him to ping me if the match started. I'm looking at the Smog Tours queue here and it has not. So, oh my gosh, it's HP fighting Zap, and that will take down the Blissey. That's huge. Ghostfall up 1-0 on one of the top seeded players in the tournament. And that could be a game-winning play. What kind of threats do you have besides this Zapdos that can take advantage of the lack of a Blissey? We'll find out. The Jirachi comes in. Could be clicking Ice Punch. Could be Calm Minding. Could sub. A lot of things you could do. You could Wish here if you expect a switch out to something just to set yourself up to basically do whatever you want the following turn. And that's the thing, man. Jirachi can run so many different sets. Especially if Ghostfall has a spinner and can safely spin these spikes away. I believe they will have stabilized and they'll be in a fantastic position. This is still a very good one. That is Calm Mind Jirachi. Unless it's running HP Grass, it's not often going to be running things that will be super effective against Tyranitar. And it is HP Grass. It doesn't quite kill. And T-Tar Dragon Dancing. I don't think Dragon Dance Earthquake will quite get there. But I think you trade the damage down and then bring something in that can outspeed and threaten this. Leech could even consider holding on to the Jirachi. This might be important. Like, this Calm Mind Jirachi might be their only way out of the situation. They've lost their physical defensive Mon, their special wall here. This is Dragon Dance T-Tar. These spikes are hugely helpful for DD Tar, but I don't know that we've made quite enough progress. The Swampert comes in, takes 45%. from Earthquake, and Double Edge doing 51. That's huge. Zapdos can come in. It's HP fighting, though, so I don't know if Ghostfall's going to have to do a quick calc and see if HP fighting Zap can do 16%. This is insane. I'm noticing now that my chat literally wasn't working. I had a window open, and now I'm looking in a separate place, and there's an actual chat with people. I just thought nobody was chatting. I'm like, damn, it's like that, guys. Pop out chat. Is it gonna work this time? There we go. All right, I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to ignore you guys. Shoto confirming that he got his free win. Congratulations. Both he and I will be moving on to round 6. That's awesome. Hi, Cobb Derman. Mary is confirming that it was CB Ments, I think from a former game. There's a lot happening. I'm going to catch up to the chat once this game slows down a bit, because this is huge. These are moments that can allow Ghostfall to stage a pretty big upset. And giving PK Leech a second loss in the first 5 rounds, that would be... Listen, I'm not going to pretend to know like everything about ADV OU history, but PK Leech that's a name that I recognize, and I'm pretty sure they're the 4 seed right now, guys. How insane is that? That means that they would have to win they have to win out. They have to win rounds 6 through 10. I'm pretty sure that's how it works, in order for them to make it all the way. Now, nothing's guaranteed yet, but this arrow is positioned well. Swampert is heavily chipped. Any button from arrow kills the Swampert. Jirachi is healthy. Dragon Dance, Tyranitar healthy. Salamon's healthy. Arrow came in on a flamethrower. No burn. Both gamers are thinking. They both have over 200 seconds, so like it's chill for now. Could I turn off game sounds? Absolutely. Mute sounds. I think that's probably the right play as well. I should get some music going. I'm sorry, guys. There's just like a lot happening in my life right now. Let's get some music here. We're just gonna do like some very chill synthwave type beats to game 2. Skip this. Alright, let me know if the levels are okay. Stop ignoring us, Mr. Streamer. My bad, everybody. Shota says never mind. Are you actually going to be playing your match? Did they show up? Also, okay, I'm getting to Pedro's messages. Zets, I'm loving your commentary. Thanks for the content. It helps you throughout your day. Dude, I'm like so happy to hear that. I know exactly what you mean. Like, I'm like, things are going like well in general, like in my life, the past like couple months. I'm like super blessed, but like, especially like when like, you know, life is tough, man. And like, sometimes you go through like little phases where it's not as easy as other times. It's difficult. And in those moments, like, I relate. Like, I look forward to like uploads from like Jimothy or like so many other creators, and they bring me like a little bit of joy that helps me get through those days that are tough to get through, you know? So it's like a blessing that I feel like I'm in a spot where I can kind of like give back and like be that for other people. And I appreciate you watching. PK Leech has 120 seconds. They started this turn with 270, so they have spent 100. That's 2.5 minutes thinking about this decision, and this is possibly the biggest decision of the tournament for them so far. They're down a game. This arrow is positioned well. They've lost their Blissey. They've lost their Skarm. There's no spinner. The Swampert is going to come in and get sacked to Earthquake, and we've locked into Earthquake. In all likelihood, I guess we don't know based off of the damage roll whether that was choice banned or not. This could be sub Leechy. And Leech is going to get the Salamence in, sack the Swampert, get the Salamence in, intimidate the arrow down, force it out. Skarmory comes in, and it can take a Dragon Claw fairly well. Flamethrower will absolutely kill from this range, I imagine. Don't quote me on that. Shoto said, "Nah, I got it." I'm kind of upset. I was looking forward to live commentating some Shoto gameplay, and yeah, Flamethrower does get there. Ghostfall is just gonna sack the Scarm. Do we just get the arrow back in? This is a big moment. This could have HP Grass, so you imagine that you probably don't want to bring the Purd in. Stepping on all these spikes, there's no way you would live in HP Grass. And looking around, like, this Jirachi has HP Grass, though, so that could represent that maybe the Salamence wouldn't be carrying it. Anyway, we get we get the Zapdos in, which showed Hidden Power fighting from earlier. Do you ever just, like, Thunder Wave here? Do you just click Thunderbolt? You just deal damage? You're up 1 Mon. You have Arrow. This is such a moment. Well, Shoto, the prep is good, though. Going into round 6, the prep is it's gonna pay off. It's not gonna be necessary today, but just keep preparing, man. You're really OSU Melee's only hope, because I'm probably not gonna be making it much further throughout this tournament. And now Thunderbolt simply kills Salamence. That Dragon Claw, you need a crit or something if you want to get through this Zapdos. And he gets it! PK Leech with the plot armor crit on the Dragon Claw. Oh my god. Insane. Arrow comes in. And Jirachi coming in is so huge. You could stay on a supposed Earthquake, because Earthquake destroys both of the switches, right? Jirachi likes coming in on a Rock Slide. T-Tar probably... Can T-Tar take 2 Rock Slides? Like, do you ever just stay in with Mence and Rock Slide? This is so huge. This is a moment. Shoto speculating that it could be HP Water. On what? On Salamence, maybe? Shoto also begging me to turn game sounds off in the Discord DMs. Thank you. Thank you for having my back. I appreciate it. I, like, honestly didn't even notice them. And we actually switched the Celebi in. We're sacking the Celebi? Salamence stayed in and clicked Dragon Claw. And now we're back to the Arrow. Wait, I missed something. Arrow clicked Earthquake. And Leech did stay in and click Dragon Claw. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. Leech is down to a minute still. But all of a sudden, Leech has brought this, like, all the way back. He's in the lead again. And the problem is Arrow has to lock in, and you only have... You have the Swampert here. It's very healthy, but you probably only get 2 separate clicks with this Arrow. You get this click, and then eventually you go to the Swampert, likely when forced to, and then it comes back in 1 more time. So Ghostfall has to figure out how are they going to engineer when they click Earthquake again. They simply do it. Honestly, I think that's what they needed to do. You could switch the Swampert in here. You imagine Leech is in all likelihood going to get the Mence back in here, because there's really no downside. If he stays in Quick's Earthquake, you're fine. And then he has to switch over to the Swampert. Probably, right? Leech is down to 30 seconds, by the way. Leech is going to have to start making some quick decisions. Like, is it ever not Mence? Like, can you ever convince yourself as Leech to not go to the Salamence in this spot? Real gamers click Earthquake again. Could be, man. Could be. This is insane. He does it! Oh my god, he simply clicks it again! He is a real gamer! The Mence comes in here. That's crazy. Ghostfall in the chat this past turn. I can't believe that... Am I still live? Are we good? Oh my god. Not now. Not like this. We're back. Oh my gosh. What is happening? It does have HP grass. Oh no. I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. Rock Slide. And this is a fully healthy Jirachi that Ghostfall is going to have to get through with Rock Slide flinches. And I don't think it's going to happen. Wow. What did we miss? Swampert. All we missed was the Swampert coming in on the HP grass. Wow. I'm sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened. Yeah, the stream is back. That is you in my thumbnail. I decided to go live and I didn't have a thumbnail, so I just decided to pick like kind of like a random like image I had from like a Showdown chat, just so people could see like, oh, people are playing Pokemon Showdown. That's crazy. Okay, so we're going to a game 3. PK Leech is still alive. That's huge for their prospects to make it out of Swiss, because you do not want to get collecting a second loss through 5 rounds. Not good. Not what you want. Not what either of these players want. This is insane. Z Panther and HeyYa Forte is also playing. This is crazy. I suppose we could check out the Z Panther set while we wait. I'm also gonna try to like resize this window. It's gonna be a bit jarring for a moment, folks. Forgive me. We double check OBS. All right, that looks good. That looks good. All right, we're getting the stream set up like kind of figured out. We're getting there. Yeah, let's see what's going on. I'm gonna pay attention to the queue. So the moment that PK Leech, the moment they start that game 3, we're gonna be jumping back over there. Do not worry about it. Don't even sweat it. We got Z Panther. Let's see. It appears that it's their first game of the set. We've missed most of it. 25 turns in, and HeyYa Forte is already down to their last, and Fire Blast will end it. So we caught the very tail end of this one. This is a match that started much more recently between Cyberus and Gooball99. And we're jumping into the middle of the action once more. For consistency, let's check out this just started. We got Z Panther again. Z Panther winning game 1. And Medi getting out of the way using Baton Pass. I only just recently learned that Medi gets Baton Pass. What was I commentating? I was commentating a set, I think with Shoto, on my channel, where the Medi subbed up and the Baton passed the sub to a Swampert. And I was like, I didn't even know that Medi got Baton Pass, but now I'm seeing it everywhere. So maybe everybody's already like always known this. Okay, so Skarm wants to come in on Bliss, gets T-waved. Not overly problematic, but yeah, Mag gets in. No full para, so at least 1 spike. That's huge. The T-Tar's gonna come in. Accepts a Thunderbolt, no full para. Revenge kill with the Earthquake. And Doug gonna come in and finish the job on T-Tar. So it's Mag Doug. We really want to eliminate and trap some key threats. Blissey coming in on a Will-O-Wisp. Dude, I got destroyed by Xtina in our round 5 set. She exploded her Gengar on my Blissey. In my face, completely owned. And I was like winning that game. She blew up her Claydol on my Claydol. I couldn't spin. I lost my Blissey. But Will-O-Wisp taunt. Could be Explosion last. I guess we'll find out. And trading Toxics, but HeyYa Forte unfortunately missing theirs. Baton passing to the Suicune. And we've got a mix here. We got some special threats. We got the Medi still at full health. Surf doing 31. And Suicune, I don't think it should be able to live that. Pivot the Doug Trio in on a Roar. A lot of spikes ship happening here. I'm keeping my eye out in the chat for that game 3 between PK Leech and Ghostfall. Don't forget about it, folks. That's the main event right now. Unless I'm like completely cooked and that already was game 3. I really hope that's not the case. I don't think that's the case. Let me actually, I'm going to double check the Discord and see if I can confirm that. Live matches. I don't think they're posting. I don't think they've been posting them to the live matches server. All right. Doug switching in on a Thunderbolt. So we've seen almost the whole set from Gengar. It could Will-O-Wisp here. And Doug clicking Earthquake, hoping... The only thing it hits now is Swampert. So, yeah, probably just happy to sack. But I would anticipate that you at least take damage and decide to click Rock Slide, right? And you can get flinches. Also, it covers Arrow. So... Pretty surprised that Earthquake was the click here. Like, if you're gonna sack the Doug, at least get some value. That's what I would think. Double edging a sleeping Suicune, excuse me. It's a bit of a tongue twister, folks. Only did 30%, so Suicune could honestly rest loop pressure PP stall the double edges. Provided that there's no crit. And yeah, Double Edge went from 20 to 19. The UI in Pokemon Showdown does not show pressure stall PP. So it actually only has 18. We're not actually going to try to keep track of that, folks. It's probably a bit too difficult to keep track of. Am I still live, by the way? I'm paranoid about my chat now because the first chat I had up did not show me anything. I had to refresh it. Still no game 3 between those players. Notifications. Okay, now it looks like we're good. Oh no. Gengar thawed out immediately and clicked Thunderbolt. HeyYa Forte saying no way. Green Cat Kid, welcome to chat. I'm good, man. I'm good. Thanks for hanging out. We're watching some sick matches. And the main one I'm focused on right now is PK Leech. We watched games 1 and 2 between PK Leech and Ghostfall. Ghostfall 22 with an upset in game 1. Had a lead in game 2. Looked like they might have staged a 2-0 upset. Couldn't close it out. PK Leech. Wait a minute. Oh my god, I missed it. Oh wait, this. Oh, I'm so sorry, everybody. This was game 3 after all. And the reason I couldn't tell is because I was looking for PK Leech on the right because it says like OU battle started between Ghostfall and PK Leech. The second time it said Ghostfall and PK Leech. The third time it said PK Leech and Ghostfall. So we actually missed game 1. So we didn't miss anything. We weren't watching for game 1. PK Leech did win that set. They move on to 4-1, and Ghostfall 22 falls to a 3-2 record going into round 6. Both players still in the tournament. All right, so that means that we can stay focused on the Z Panther set. Gengar tried to Thunderbolt the Blissey down, barely didn't kill. Blissey wins that matchup. Suicune will wake up. Oh, I'm surprised that didn't kill. Oh my god, freezing the arrow. No way. Oh my gosh. They've said GG in the chat. I don't know if we're behind. We could be behind here. It thaws out. Oh my god, it thaws out. Ice Beam kills. Swampert comes in. Swampert, we've seen Toxic and Surf. And Z-Panther actually just forfeits. Is that this match? Yeah. Okay. So that is definitely the most recent match. Let me try to see if I can confirm which match that is. I think that's game 2. I'm looking and I'm pretty sure, but I'm gonna see Panther. Yeah, that was game 2. So we should be able to see a game 3. And yeah, it's starting right now. Here we go. All right, Pedro Duarte, one of your favorite players, getting pushed to a game 3 in round 5. Oh my gosh. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let's start. We'll catch up very soon. It's T-Tar and a Medi. And HeyYa Forte, it's another baton pass Medi, and Z-Panther's just not gonna get any spikes. That's huge. Now we saw HeyYa Forte. Oh, I'm thinking of a different set. I'm sorry. I'm not used to commenting like 3 separate sets, like kind of all at once. We'll get there. We'll get there, folks. Suicune happy to be in on a Charizard. Calm minding up. Do you ever convince yourself to just like calm mind again or like click a button? No, you don't want to take the Thunderbolt. Even with a calm mind stack, you don't want to take all that damage. Sure. Get the Blissey, and that's what the Blissey is for. We're moving back to the T-Tar, has yet to click a button, gets Seismic Tossed. Shouldn't be overly relevant. Focus Punch. Okay, full para. No, and that Focus Punch eliminates the Blissey entirely. And look around. We've got a Charizard, we got a Jolteon. Doug actually can't kill it from this range. Oh my gosh. Forte, you're throwing away everything. I mean, T-Waving an unrevealed Tar, I'm not going to harp on that too much, but you got to know your ranges, and maybe that was actually a decent range to kill. Who knows what the calc looks like? But that's unfortunate. Mag is staying in. Swampert's coming in. Can't be Thunderwaved. What hidden power are you running? We got Toxic. Okay, we have Toxic to the Pert. It's got Earthquake. I feel like Swampert doesn't often run Earthquake with Refresh. Earthquake, to me, represents like a more offensively oriented Swampert. A lot of the Refresh Perts, I feel, run like Surf, Protect, Toxic, something like that. Jolt comes in on the Suicune again. We saw this situation happen before. Z-Panther simply clicked Thunderbolt last time. I imagine they will do so again because they had one Pokemon. Oh my god, crit Surf on the Jolteon. That's huge. Gengar comes in. Can Gengar do 23% with Thunderbolt to +1/+1 Suicune after a Calm Mind? Z-Panther with a WTF in the chat. No. That is insane. We just get the Suicune out of there. We pivot the Zapdos in. HeyYa Forte responds in the chat. I got nothing. This is ridiculous. It all comes down to this, man. Game 3, 3 Pokemon left apiece. Swampert is Toxic and at 60%. Otherwise, both these mons fully healthy. Medi completely healthy. Suicune kind of on its last legs. Oh my god, we're aggressively pivoting the Medi in. Oh, and it gets paralyzed. It was already going to get outsped, and I think it was... There were rolls where it would be able to die anyway. But yeah, it just dies. Yeah, it was choice banned. It didn't leftover chip heal. So that's rough. That's really rough. Taking the Thunderbolt 60%. No para here. Wait a minute. This Zapdos is faster than Gengar? That's unusual, folks. You don't see that every day. Gengar, usually the whole point is that it outspeeds these base 100 Mon. Like Zapdos, like Charizard. It's Hidden Power Ice, not Grass. But Z-Panther was expecting Suicune to come in. Clicks Earthquake. Toxic brings him down to 32%. Hidden Power still doing 20, and finally the Ice Beam comes down. The Suicune is at 23%. Toxic will take down the Swampert, allowing Z-Panther to pivot in a Gengar, which I imagine should outspeed with Thunderbolt. It didn't outspeed the Zapdos, but it does outspeed the Suicune. And Z-Panther escapes despite a pretty crazy crit a moment ago on that Jolteon. Good games. And we saw I think like 1 or 2 turns from this set earlier. Let's see. Skip to end. We know Cyberus won a game. And let me see if I can confirm if this is game 2 or 3. It looks like game 2. It looks like we're in the midst of game 2. With Cyberus having won. Looks like fairly handily. 3 Mon remaining. Okay. Crazy. Does anybody else know of any like sick matches that are happening tonight? Like, are there any other like round 5 like big matches that we're looking forward to? I'm gonna check the spreadsheet and see if there's any like highly seeded players that haven't played their round 5 yet. Right here. Round 5. JR is a player who's seeded 25th, and they haven't played their match versus Secondary yet. Or hasn't been reported in the spreadsheet, at least. Yeah, man. Marius, top players are top players for a reason. Like, I've watched so many games where it's like, oh, well, it's over. And then they somehow find a way to inch their way back. They put pressure on the lesser experienced opponent. They eventually force them to make mistakes. They capitalize on those mistakes incredibly well. And they just have like an aura to them, man. There's just like some sort of plot armor. What kind of hidden power does Breloom run? If you're running fighting coverage, could be HP Rock. Oh my gosh, dude. I lost in like the Mugulus Cup or whatever. I entered that, lost my round 1 set. Game 1, insanely close, lost it. And then game 2, a Swampert froze my Suicune just like that. I pivoted a Suicune into a Swampert, got Ice Beamed, got frozen, never thawed. And I'm not a top player, so I couldn't overcome it. I lost 0-2 and was pretty upset about it, not gonna lie. A Gen 3 RU battle has started between Amity Reborn and Cell Dynami. For anybody who is following Gen 3 RU, I wonder if they have like some sort of event going on. Because this is the Smog Tours server, so I don't know much about it. This is the first time I've been on the Smog Tours server, is just entering this event. But I imagine that, you know, it's this event or this server is like kind of dedicated for and meant for like tournament matches. Jirachi subbing up on the switch out to Skarm. Skarm can obviously click Roar here, but if Jirachi has Fire Punch, I think that's a chance to kill. Getting the T-Tar in on a Thunderbolt. Of course, Thunderbolt also is going to be a threatening move to convince the Skarmory to get out of dodge. HP Grass is doing 38%, and that is not Leftovers Tar. Looks like could be Choice Band, could be Lum, probably Choice Band, I'd imagine. So we sacrifice the entire Tar basically just to break a sub. Pivoting Breloom in. And does Cyberus just switch back to the Celebi and sack sleep on Celebi? Never seen Z-Panther nervous. Z-Panther did say WTF to that one crit. Apparently they didn't let it affect their play, but they expressed displeasure in the chat. Oh no. And that did neutral damage to Jirachi. What kind of physical HP does neutral damage? It wouldn't have been rock, right? So, bug. Oh, could be bug. Could be bug. Nightshade Gengar. What situations? For when you're nervous, so that you just get guaranteed damage? I think I'm a little lost. Surely I'm not understanding you correctly. T-Tar comes in. Blissey Calm Minding up. Haven't seen this T-Tar click a move. It's Focus Punch. Just getting the Swampert in. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. Swampert clicks Ice Beam. Protect. Celebi happy to take another Ice Beam to get a Leech Seed up. Intriguing. Because that Ice Beam was doing 34%. Yeah. And I don't think Swampert is going to want to take that Giga Drain. Breloom finding another way to pivot in. Sporing the Celebi. You could spam Spore here. You have 21 more clicks. Eventually the Celebi is likely to have to get out of here. Seen it click HP once. I don't remember what it was. We might have even missed it because I don't think we've seen this whole game. But could be fire. Could be hidden power fire. Both players using a bit of timer. Cerberus has just under 5 minutes left on their timer. Now just 240 seconds remain. What do we think could be the last here? This is a pretty standard team. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Skarm. Last could be, I mean, it could be like Arrow. You're getting spikes. You're trying to chip things down. You got your Rock Resist. Focus Punch. We haven't seen it take any damage, so don't know if it's leftovers, don't know if it's Choice Band. I don't think you're not expecting. Oh wait, Focus Punch is going to hit Jirachi fairly hard. 60%, that's huge. And Breloom is faster than this Jirachi, so you could just click Spore here. Oh, I'm wrong. I'm like literally so wrong. I was right about the arrow. I saw the Sandstorm hit Breloom, and then Jirachi healed with leftovers, and then Breloom did. Crazy. So they double switch. Arrow's in on Blissey. Blissey has Ice Beam. I don't think Arrow can... Oh, wait, that's 76% though. Double Edge actually might have gotten there. That did 21% to Skarm, so Skarm has thiefed something. Something lost... Oh, the Celebi lost its leftovers. And that's the only thing this Skarm has clicked. It hasn't found an opportunity to get in and click any spikes. I'm going to switch the viewpoint real quick. I was just making sure there weren't spikes on the field. But yeah, doesn't look like there is. Swampert comes in on Toxic. Pretty decent click. Assuming this arrow is banded. Probably is. Swampert cursing up. It's not long for this world. It's here to get in and do a lot of stuff. It's gonna go out with a bang at some point. Toxic already doing 18%. And this is where you get the frozen Suicune in, right? Because, yeah, okay, you curse up. You have to have Earthquake last if you're cursing. But we're clicking Hydro Pump and getting a critical hit Hydro Pump? Are you just getting do you just care about the defensive boost? Like, surely Earthquake would be doing more, and there it is. Are you alive? No, the Toxic takes you down. Could be a good opportunity to get the arrow in and click a button. Alternatively, you could bring the Jirachi in and try to Calm Mind. It's going to be the Celebi instead. Yeah, Giga Drain gets some health back because you don't have leftovers, so the Celebi can't stay in forever. With no leftovers, it's going to get slowly chipped down by the sand. And Breloom outspeeds, spores it down. Celebi taking yet more chip. And you could just click Focus Punch here, and you do. What do we switch? Oh, it just wakes up! No way! Cyberus' Celebi simply wakes up at the exact moment it needed to. When I saw that it woke up, I thought that was because it was switching out. That's crazy. Gooball99 in the chat. Drat. That's a drat moment. Wow. That's huge. Huge value from the Celebi, eliminating the Breloom. That Breloom was outspeeding things and sporing everything. Now we're down to 3 Mon each. There is 1 spike on the field. Jirachi comes in. It's going to heal quite a bit off this Leech Seed. Look at this. 20%. And I don't think Blissey can do much. It can Calm Mind War you, but being leeched, I don't think this favors Blissey because you're Leech Seeded. Jirachi literally heals 20% a turn off of you, and it already is chip healing in the sand with leftovers. So I don't see this ending well for Gooball99. Like, Jirachi's literally at full health, and now the Blissey's gonna have to heal while the Jirachi keeps Calm Minding up. Yeah. But you're not even gonna be, like, particularly close to full health. You're only at 3/4 health. And you're back 2 Calm Minds, now you're back 1. It will come down to hacks, though. I think it could eventually just come down to whichever one gets a crit first. And Cyberus, I believe, will get a couple chances, a couple additional chances, because Gooball's going to have to occasionally heal instead of Calm Minding up. So this upcoming turn, now we just start clicking buttons, right? You click... Well, you could get a substitute up, which you absolutely should do, because that protects you from crit. I think you should have substituted. You get a para, so you get rewarded. But you substitute that way, like, crit doesn't kill you. And you immediately heal everything back with the Leech Seed anyway. Doesn't look like they're going to go for it. But yeah, Thunderbolt not doing a lot. And it ultimately, it's going to come down to crit or PP stalling soft-boileds, which there's still 13 of. There's only 19 Thunderbolts. So... the odds say that eventually a crit will happen. I don't even know if a crit gets there. Does crit, like, +4 get there? And that was amazing. They substitute on the exact moment that Thunderbolt crit. That must be so frustrating for Gooball. They finally got the crit that you needed, and at the last moment, Cyberus was like, you know what, maybe I should sub up to protect from crit, but now they're not subbing up anymore. Are they just psychic? They know exactly when the crit is happening? This para is also huge too. That could deny a heal when Gooball needs to. Yeah, and exactly. You get your sub up. You're in no hurry to find your own Thunderbolt crit. But now Gooball can, like, never win this. And we're pivoting out. That's... Well, you know what? This only has one... Oh, it has hidden power. It probably has HP grass, right? I didn't see the hidden power. I was like, dude, this Jirachi has 1 attack. It's completely walled by the Swampert, but of course that wasn't correct. +4 HP grass, getting ×4 resisted, doing neutral damage basically in the end. 18%. Scarm chip healing up. Yeah, Green Cat Kid couldn't agree more. I don't see a way for Gooball to break through. I mean, obviously roaring would be nice, but there's no way that the Scar... It doesn't even have roar. So that's not even an out. Yeah. Yeah, this is a GG moment. Yeah, man, Rachi with a sub. Going for double protect doesn't really matter. But props for playing it out. Respect for playing it out. Let's do it 45%. Blissey getting a Calm Mind up. No longer Leech Seeded or Paralyzed. Those are relevant, but... And there's the Paralyzed. And fully para'd. That's game. Because you just took 29%. And that'll be the set. Looks like Cyberus won 2-0. And let me look in the spreadsheet here and see how they've been doing. They won round 1. They won round 2 as well. They also won round 3. They're the 85 seed. They started 3-0 in this tournament. They lost to the 527th seed in Cepulo, Cepulo, in 2 games in round 4. So they went into this 3-1. And they're now 4-1. Gooball 99 is now 3-2. Yeah, 3-2. Good stuff there. And there's nothing else in the queue right now. I don't think no other Gen 3 matches have started since this one. So it looks like there's a decent amount of activity. We watched some matches. We saw some cool gaming. I might just kind of use this channel to periodically go live if a cool match started. And just as I say it, Gen 3 OU battle started between Banana Taco, and Kydrith 33. I am going to take this opportunity to use the restroom really quickly, but I'll keep this up so that you guys can keep watching, and I will be back very shortly. All right. We're back. Looks like I missed a decent chunk. A couple mons revealed. Already turned 9. These gamers are clicking buttons. All right, so turn 1. Skarm got some spikes off. Yama knocked it off. Yama has now knocked off 2 very defensive Pokemon. That's pretty good value. And it's toxic. I think most of the time people are going to be running Guts on Yama. So that could work out in Butter Banana Taco's favor. Starmie came in, Hydro pumped. Looks like Registeel's already healed all that back. Metagross came in. Skarmory came back in. Skarmory protected on a Thunderbolt from Starmie. Starmie Rapid spun some spikes away. A Jilgross Meteor mashing into a Registeel. I think Registeel's whole thing is that it can like wall meta fairly well. But it has no attacking moves besides Seismic Toss that can actually do anything against the meta. So didn't want to stay and play a passive game plan against meta. If it ever gets attack raises, eventually it can break through. And look at that, man. Registeel taking 15% from Starmie Thunderbolt. That's crazy. That's so crazy. Brick Break. And yeah, I mean, Registeel has some defense. That's Guts boosted Brick Break from Yama. And we're resting up. Could this be... Is it ever Aroma Bliss? Wait, this team looks pretty similar to a team that I've been running. It's okay. Wish this. I think this could still be Aroma. It's like a sample team. It's like a balanced offense. I don't think so. The one I use has Claydol over Starmie. I don't think it has a meta. It has like a Celebi. It's kind of passive, but I wouldn't be overly surprised on a team like this to see Aroma. I don't know. Porygon 2. The stream started right after my games. That's unfortunate. But what I can tell you is if your set was fire, just let me know, and I'll consider covering it on my channel. Not sure if you're familiar, if you've already been watching some of the ADV Revival 2 tournament coverage that I've been putting out on this relatively new channel. But I love taking requests. So if your set or any other set that you have heard of, have watched recently was particularly sick, I'm always looking for submissions to include on the channel in the future. So Hydro Pump will deny rest, and we've only seen 2 revealed mons. That's kind of insane. Both have been knocked off. Jirachi's going to come in and take 53% from a Hydro Pump. It heals up to 54, but you imagine this is a roll. Can Kyri ever justify staying in and just hoping that this doesn't kill? Butter Banana Taco could also just elect to swap out here. This is your spinner. The Skarmory's knocked off, but it's still at 78%. So yeah, you want to keep your Starmie healthy. You don't want to be taking HP grasses. Zakhip, welcome to the stream. Games have been pretty sick. We've watched a nice collection of games. We saw PK Leech get taken to the brink of taking a second loss in 5 rounds. They did stave off that potential loss to Ghostfall 22. So PK Leech is going into round 6 with a 5-1, or I'm sorry, a 4-1 record. Ghostfall 22 played admirably, forced a game 3, and had opportunities that maybe even potentially take that game 3. That's one of the highlights of the stream so far, I'd say. We saw Z Panther and HeyYa Forte also go to a game 3. That was a pretty exciting set. And we're just watching game 1 of Butter Banana Taco versus Kyri 33. How are you doing today? Yama coming in on Calm Mind Jirachi, receiving a wish. Very nice. It is slower than Jirachi. Could this ever have Psychic? It does. That just kills. That was unrevealed at that point. It was just Calm Mind, Hidden Power. And the Yama's gone. Nothing else will be knocked off. I'm impressed at how well Kyri has been able to play while only revealing 3 mons through 32 turns. That's kind of crazy. Okay, Salamon's coming back in. It hasn't clicked anything yet. There's no Trapper, so I guess I would expect. I wouldn't overly expect this to be like a physical Mence, because how do you deal with Skarm? I mean, you knock it off with Yama. I think it could be pretty much anything. Yeah, I mean, not all Jirachis run Psychic, but it always can have it. And that's the thing about Rachi, right? Is like it can always have kind of anything, and it's you kind of have to scout it out. So yeah, I don't love pivoting the Yama in there either. We saw Knockoff and Brick Break, and it also like it's neutral against fighting. You had the Guts boost from Toxic, but you're getting outsped, and it had 2 Calm Mind stacks at that point. So yeah, looking around, I mean, maybe you could have just tried to get the Blissey in. I don't know. Blissey doesn't really have a way to like threaten Calm Mind Jirachi. It can try to Calm Mind itself up. But I'm looking around. I'm trying to figure out what the play would have been. Maybe you get the meta in and you just Earthquake it down. Stab Psychic with coverage for Skarm and Tar. Very common, sure. On a CM set, Psychic is almost certainly going to be there. Okay. Yeah, Zakhip, sounds like you're also a bit of a Jimothy coolhead. I discovered Jimothy's content like a year and a half or so ago, and I think I've watched like every damn video that guy's put out since. In part because he's an awesome creator, but also Gen 3OU is sick. I've like been on like the outskirts of consuming some competitive Pokemon content for a while. Like, you know, I've watched like some Nuzlocke stuff, you know, some Pokemon challenges stuff, a little bit of Wolfie stuff. And yeah, this Calm Mind Jirachi is kind of going to the moon. Not sure what's exactly expected to deal with it. Meta's slower. And yeah, it has Fire Punch, man. HP Grass, Psychic, Fire Punch, that's coverage. HP Grass is absolutely gonna go in on Starmie. Starmie can at least go for a Hydro Pump, but yeah, you need a crit. If you crit, it ignores the special defense increase, of course, but this game is looking pretty over. You were already playing Gen 3 Ranbats? That's sick. That's all I used to do on Pokemon Showdown. Not that I would do it all that often, but occasionally I'd get the inkling to play Pokemon, but like creating a team just felt so daunting, and like having to understand like a metagame, it was just like the barrier to entry, it just felt so tall, you know? So I would always play Ranbats too. I played like some Gen 4 Ranbats, like occasionally like newer gens, but I was into Pokemon when I was like a kid, man. Like I played like Gens 1 through 3 when I was like growing up, and then I played Gen 4 a bit. And then when I became like a kind of like an adolescent, like a teenager, like early college, I didn't keep up with all the gens, so like I never played Gen 5 or 6. Maybe I played 7. I'm trying to remember what 7 even is. I got back with like Sword and Shield, and I really liked like the open world like part where they had like that, like right in the middle there was like the park that you could run around, and like the Pokemon were actually there rather than being wild grass encounters. Would have gone to Tyranitar on the Jirachi. Could be. You're gonna get outsped. It has 2 Calm Mind stacks. Do you suppose that the T-Tar could have lived +2 Hidden Power Grass? And this one, it is carrying Fire Blast specifically for the matchup. Yeah, but with like the 2 special defense increases, like Fire Blast, like it does some chip damage, and then your T-Tar's just dead anyway. So I'm looking around and like, I don't know, like I kind of think like Calm Mind Jirachi is just like an insane problem. Obviously like Doug is super helpful. Right, how did it get the 2 Calm Minds? Honestly I don't remember. And until the next match starts, we can look into that. It switched in on me and took a Hydro, but then he went to Blissey. Okay. So Starmie's here, Hydro Pump the Jirachi. And yeah, this looked like a really good position. And we talked about this. Hey, I told you to pause. When the Starmie was in. Yeah, so Jirachi's here. You do like you threatened a 2-hit. Obviously it heals up to like it rounded to like 54. So it's a roll to kill. But you're risking your entire Starmie. And it's like, well, I might need that. So he switches to the Blissey instead, which I don't think is necessarily like a bad thing. And it didn't even Calm Mind. It just takes an HP Grass. So what does Blissey do here? In the face of 1 Calm Mind, wishes up. I guess that's the worst possible outcome if you're clicking Wish. You're kind of hoping that it's not Calm Mind Jirachi, because now it's it's already like shit. Like I gotta move quickly or else this thing is gonna get out of control. And he immediately goes to Yama on the second Calm Mind, heals it up with Wish. So maybe this was greedy, healing up the Yama, and instead like we could have healed up the Metagross. Metagross could have Earthquaked, and yeah, I really don't know the best line in this. Clicking Wish was the throw. You don't switch your super passive Blissey into Rachi. Wish was a throw. Took 53% from Pump and carrying HP Grass. Fair enough. I appreciate the analysis. Obviously, I'm relatively new to this scene. Like I've been spectating for like a year and a half, so I feel like I have like a baseline understanding of the meta, but like, you know, some of these like deeper concepts from more advanced players are definitely helpful. I'm always trying to learn more. Yeah, like a knowledge gap for sure. Okay, so we got Kurokun here. Oh, Paris Song. Okay. Ice beaming, hoping to catch something coming in. This thing has been asleep for so long. Surely it wakes up here. It's staying in. Wants to take some surf. It's pretty good value. And surely they both switch out here. Maybe, yeah. I guess you don't want to keep the... Oh, wait a minute. Kyri throws away the entire Suicune? Why would you do that? You needed that, and there was no reason to do that. You traded 28% on a Snorlax that's chip healing with no sand for your entire Suicune. This is insane. Mean look? Had it been mean looked? Oh, I missed that. My bad. My bad, guys. Thank you so much. Good call. Very good call. Yeah, in that case, yeah, screw me. They did all they could. They took the surf value that was in front of them. Well, that's a pretty valuable Jinx. Moments ago, it went down at some point. Oh yeah, last turn to the Metagross Meteor Mash. Snorlax coming in on the Zapdos. HP Grass doing 16%. Thunderbolt actually gets there. Okay. Kyri evening up the score. And what's going to come in here? Claydol's like kind of passive. It could come in Toxic, but you're going to get HP Grassed. Possibly a trade that you're happy with. The Jinx sack was pretty good, looking like special offense. From Kyri with the Zap and the Suicune. Yeah. Oh, exploding on the Zapdos. That's more value than Toxic. Okay. Oh my god, such a good call. It is special offense. Would have sacked Doug to keep Snorlax healthy. Rain Dance is being clicked, and we're immediately exploding. We're booming. It's Doug. Oh my gosh. Doug can't get there. You need a crit. Oh, that doesn't even... Just calm minding on it. Yeah, that's probably correct. Here you have to take the kill. It's Heracross last. Megahorn probably does 37. And Dursalak. Oh, man. Reversal just wins. Kyri is forcing a game 3. It's over. Yeah, that is going to do it. That is exactly what they needed. Exactly what they needed. That's crazy. Very well done. No sand brought from Butter Banana Taco. So Rain Dance was just to help Kingdra and obviously clear sand that wasn't even there. Game 3 will be starting soon. Wild stuff. And did we confirm? Should have just knocked my mic. My bad. Have I yet confirmed the records of these players? I don't think I have. Kyri won round 1. Lost round 2. Won round 3. Lost. Okay, so oh shit, they're 2-2. Game 3 is it. One of them is gonna be out. One of them is eliminated after this match. So Porygon, let me ask you. Looking at Butter Banana Taco's team, do you think, are there like, there's bad matchups. Like, would you adjust the team in any way to have a better answer to Heracross? Or is that kind of like when you're team building, you kind of accept, like, we're not always going to lose to this, but it's a bad matchup. Because when we're not facing this, we're strong against a lot of other things that are also common. Like, you can't have a good matchup against everything. But, like, do you see, like, structural flaws here? Or is it a lesser kind of just matchup dependent thing? Turkey leg. One moment, folks. I'll be right back. All right, we're back, folks. Thanks for your patience. Why is my camera low? Or I see what's going on. My bad. Doug Lax is weird. Okay. Yeah, because so Doug is often eliminating threats like Jirachi, like Blissey. But Lax already kind of like does okay in those matchups, especially if you're running like Earthquake on Lax. Is that kind of like where you're coming from, Witgiz? Let me know the thought process if we're on the same page. If you want a Jinx team, you have to accept these L's. Doug isn't really necessary. Off-pert would be more helpful. Probably not the idea. Gengar, not the worst idea either. There's so much to learn about this format, man. Was that Curse Lax? We only saw it click a single Earthquake, so it's unclear. Yeah, this is going to be a big match, guys. For one of these players, it will be the last match that they play in this tournament. Oh, sure. Clear weather. Enable the Curse Lax to chip heal up and sustain a bit better as you're getting those curse stacks up. Makes sense. Let me double check and make sure that I'm not wrong about this, by the way. Yeah. From everything I can see in the queue on Smog Tours, that was game 2 between these guys. They're entitled to some moments to think about their teams and everything. I would replace Lax with Weezing or Dusclops. I really like Weezing, but like, dude, I'm not nearly good enough to like team build. I'm sure to some degree that's like a self-limiting belief. Like, I just got to do it, make big mistakes, learn from them, and keep going. But like, I don't know how to work Weezing in. Like, do you just throw it on like Superman, and like it blows up on stuff, it will-o-wisps stuff? Gen 4 Uber's battle started. Let's take a look at this. I can tell you approximately 0 things about Gen 4 Ubers, but at least we got something on the screen. Kyogre lead. Dialga. Water spout resisted doing 66%. What a format. In some ways, this is like the coolest format. Like as a kid, you would have thought that this is the coolest format because it's like all the biggest, best, sickest, most legendary, most powerful Pokemon. Like imagine telling like your 8-year-old self who's falling in love with Pokemon, yeah, we're gonna play, but like nobody's allowed to use like all the cool ones, like all the box legendaries. Like in a way, obviously, like that's understandable, but like on the playground, like I just wanted to like I wanted to bring up my Lugia and like fight like my friends like Raikou or something. Big water spouts. Wheezing hard walls, a lot of physical threats, including Heracross, Yama, Lax, Tarm. Whoa. That's a lot. That's utility. Wheezing Wednesday. Yeah, Wheezing Wednesday is no joke. You can throw it on the field while opponent clicks Dragon Dance and get a free Wisp. Speed Creep It to outpace Taunt and Sludge Blissey. Interesting. Yeah, I bet Sludge would do a chunk to Blissey. Tough to pilot. Gabriel Jugway. This is not ADV Revival. I admit it. Let's dive in instead to a Gen 5 ZU battle between Super Epic Ampharos and Stories. Forgive me. If you're just joining us, we're waiting for a very epic, highly anticipated Game 3 match between Butter Banana Taco and Kyri 33. We've saw games 1 and 2 so far, and we're seeing a game 3 soon. Both gamers in this round 5 are 2 and 2. So the loser's out, man. It's as high stakes as it gets. And once that match starts, we'll be going over to check it out. I just kind of had this up on the screens for something for us to watch in the meantime. Shreng apologizing for the Thunder para. Does this Deoxys outspeed Jirachi normally? I imagine no, because otherwise, why is he apologizing? I mean, I guess the Jirachi could always like switch out. You think Jinx is fake? Are you guys in the tournament too? Who else is in ADV Revival 2? What's your record right now? Are we all still in? I am still in, believe it or not. I'm going in around 6 with a 3-2 record. And I'm just happy to have made it this far because the only other tournament I entered, like the Mugulus Cup, I went 0-1. 4-1, that's sick. That's fucking awesome. Gus also 4-1. We got some gamers in the chat. That's awesome. Did your losing matches in the middle of lectures? Dude, sometimes it's hard to coordinate with people. Like, I think like 2 or 3 of the people that I've been matched up against lived on like basically the opposite side of the world. And like, we basically had like no overlap. Thanks, babe. Oh, hi, puppy. Shreng apologizing for something else. Oh, it was an ice beam freeze. Oh my god, this Kyogre is just simply frozen. Unfortunate. What's my favorite Gen 3 team? It's a good question. I really like Medi. I just like a Mon that's like kind of frail, but like can click like really big buttons, and it's like a gamer's Mon. Like if you can predict your opponent well enough, you get like huge value, and if you don't, then you get very little value. It feels like very like high stakes. Every single click is meaningful. Like I lean more towards like offense. I'm not really here for like 200 plus turn games. I'm not trying to like stall my opponent. I'm not PP stalling people. I'm not really into any of that. Like balance stuff is cool too, and I've come around on like hazards a bit. Like before I really like delved into the competitive scene with like Jimothy's content and diving into that rabbit hole. I wasn't like the biggest fan of like stage hazards. I didn't like see why they were necessary to like force progress. But I think I lean towards like offensive oriented teams. Gen 3 OU battle started between Colby 2D and the Commander XD. So it's another Gen 3 battle. I'm going to see what I can find out about these gamers. All 5 of your matchups live in the UK. It's unfortunate. Let me see here. The Commander XD. Commander? No. Everybody's name in the sheet is different than on Showdown. It's like, makes things difficult. Colby 2D lost round 1. Won round 2. They won round 3. And they won round 4. So both of these gamers are 3-1. We're seeing some gaming. Don't worry, folks. Once Butter, Banana Taco, and Kyri start game 3, we will be focusing on that match. Blitzy coming in on a surf from Suicune. You imagine Suicune's often going to be getting out of here. Not much to be gained by staying in on a Blissey, unless you predict like a double of sorts. Another Gen 3 battle started between Corvid Queen and Kalars. And Blissey stays into Toxic, misses the Toxic on the Doug. Doug has beat up, and you imagine it's going to be EV to live an Ice Beam. Gets a crit, not going to matter. Yeah, only taking 88%, no freeze. And 4 or 5 turns in, the Commander XD has already eliminated this Blissey. We've got Suicune Zap, so representing special offense. Will I do Mushy League, ADV, PL? I basically don't know what those are. I know that they're other like tournament sort of things, like circuit things, I guess. Is Mushy League for like unranked players or players that like aren't like getting invited to like the Gym Invitational and like the Callus events? I'm still learning a lot about this scene. Oh my god, so many Gen 3 OU battles are starting. 2 more just started between Big Squatto and Nexhawk 2, and then also Raskaport and Blanched. And between Raxius Gaming and Pinjara Panther. We can't cover them all, folks. I wish we could. Yeah, this is insane. I think I'll probably try to go live most days where the round is ending. As we all know, round 5 ends tonight, round 6 begins tomorrow. Oh my god, another Gen 3 OU battle started between 13 Aced, I think that is supposed to look like the word based, and Squeamish Cube. So we got the arrow in. Commander XD taking some time off their timer to think this through. And that double edge, that'll 2-hit KO from this range on Suicune. So Suicune is going to pivot to the Gengar. Nicely done. Scout the move, understand the choice band lock in. And I think in that spot, Colby 2D probably some of the time should be switching out preemptively. Now we're getting the Tar Wisp. Is it Lum? It is. Okay. And we've seen Ancient Power from the Tyranitar. I guess we missed that early on in this match. Moshi League is the team tour. Oh, it's a team tour. That's cool. I've never played like a team-oriented tour in Pokemon before. I played like doubles and melee. That's like chiefly where I'm from. I'm like largely from the melee community. I'm not as active anymore, but for most of the 2010s, I was like a pretty big like player, commentator, content creator in like the Midwest. And I show up to like locals and stuff every now and then, but it's not like my main focus anymore. But Moshi League sounds fun. I'll definitely probably consider covering it, because once this tournament's over, then it's like, okay, well, what do I do with my channel? Because the channel was basically created so that I could also help cover like ADV Revival too. So we'll have to figure out what's next, but you know, don't have to have it all figured out quite yet. And I'm looking around and I'm not seeing. I'm gonna verify something. Skip to end. Oh wait, I thought Butter Banana Taco won game 1. And they didn't. They forfeited game 1 and they lost game 2. They're out. Okay, my bad, everybody. I will get better at this whole streaming thing. We're back. We're back to Colby 2D versus the Commander XD. Charizard living a Thunderbolt, able to get the revenge kill on Gengar. This could be a speed tie. Blaze Flamethrower doing a huge amount. And Zapdos choosing to sub. Interesting. Crit Flamethrower. Would have liked to have gotten that beforehand, but Zapdos deals with the Charizard. This could be another entry point for Arrow. Double Edge kind of goes insane. Double Edge hits everything. The Gengar's gone. I'd find it very difficult not to just simply click Double Edge here. None of these can ever stand up to Double Edge. So you imagine we're going to see an unrevealed Mon, or maybe Commander chooses to sack something, like could be the Doug. You still wouldn't mind having the Doug to try to kill this T-Tar, but it's so healthy. It's still at 100%. Thanks, Gabriel. Yeah, I'm trying, man. I want to keep learning more and improving so that I can be more informative on the mic. That's definitely my like biggest area for improvement with respect to commentating Pokemon. It's just like the game knowledge, because I've been on the mic a ton. I'm very comfortable commentating, but I've got a lot to learn. Yeah, we get the Jirachian, and it was Double Edge being clicked. Can't really fault Colby for clicking the button in that spot. But we got to switch out, right? I mean, maybe if you're a gamer, you just simply click it again, imagining a world where Commander is double switching back to one of these threats. But I don't really see that being overly likely. Calm Mind. Okay, we get Scarman. And this is I mean, I was going to say it's a late Scarm. This is late in the game to be revealing it, but this is only turn 16. And that's a big burn. That's so much damage. The Scarm is burned. We roar the Zapdos in. That's not what we wanted to see. So, doesn't look like spikes are happening anytime soon. Do you just sack the Scarm? No, we're gonna get Baton passed on with T-Tar. But where do you go here? You could go to the Suicune, get a lot of damage on T-Tar, sack the Suicune, and then revenge kill with Doug. Guess it all depends on what the last is and how valuable it is to eliminate this Tyranitar. We go straight to the Doug. Well, this Earthquake is not going to get there. Maybe did Brick Break? No. It doesn't get Brick Break, does it? I couldn't imagine a Doug trio. It doesn't have hands. Oh yeah, I love BKC. I love BKC. I've been watching him for a while now. And yeah, I follow some Kalos stuff too. I've gone back and watched like some of like the like Kalos like grand finals and like semifinals and stuff. I've been thinking about like starting like a new like series on my channel that's like me getting like like a strong, like well-known player and like analyzing like a set or something, like analyze like kind of like for beginners. Because I would still consider myself like a beginner player. I think I know just enough to commentate, and especially if I'm like kind of orienting my commentary towards newer players, like if you're like a top player, you probably don't want to hear me. You know, you'd rather hear like, you know, Callus, Jim, a lot of the people that are normally on like the Revival Tournaments channel. But I'm kind of like trying to help get more people invested and interested in the tournament in general. So I'm kind of like marketing my videos and like my commentary towards people who are like brand new to Gen 3 OU. And that way, like my like bare competency level knowledge is enough to get through the content, you know what I mean? Dude, there are so many Gen 3 battles happening right now. If anybody wants to watch any of them in particular, let me know, because I don't know that many of these players. I haven't really heard of any of them. Oh yeah, dude, I've seen YOLO Scarm. I've watched like almost every like video that the Revival Tournaments channel has ever put out. Like I've become like quite the fan of this format. So I'm familiar with a lot of sets. I'm familiar with some team comps. I understand the mechanics pretty well. I understand a lot of the mind games. Like EV investments and stuff like that. You know, expected damage rolls, determining when something is choice banned based off of a certain damage roll. I'm not going to be as strong with that stuff. That stuff takes a lot of experience, in my opinion. But yeah, YOLO Scarm. Yeah, I'm going to know what YOLO Scarm is. Dragon King, welcome to the channel. This could be close. We've got a Jill Gross. Jirachi can come in on Meteor Mash, but doesn't love taking an Earthquake. We get the Suicune in. Oh my gosh, just deciding to blow up. That felt a bit preemptive. It was a relatively healthy Metagross. Wow. And heads up play to sack the... I think heads up play. I mean, we only saw the Suicune click Surf once. We don't even really know what kind of Suicune it was. And that Scarm was not long for this world. And there's not a great click here that hits both of these. Has to go for Rock Slide. Getting Giga Drained. This is not a favorable position for Colby. Yeah, definitely needed some flinches because this could always have Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt or Psychic are going to get there. That's it. The Commander XD taking game one of this set. Nice. Kalaris and Corvid Queen are going into game two of their set, I believe. We could jump into that. See no reason not to. Oh my gosh. It's an Arcanine. We're Arcanine gaming. Let's go to the first turn. Foray into Disposable Heroes. And Arcanine is switching into a Focus Punch T-Tar. The Intimidate coming in clutch. And we are almost caught up. Oh my god, critical hit HP fighting from Arcanine. Hell yeah. Let's go. Given how prevalent Mag is, always wonder why YOLO Scarm isn't more popular. You gotta wonder what the other three moves are if he can't hit Celebi at all. Well, it's choice banded, so he has to hit Celebi and then he has to beat Jirachi. So like a lot of arrows will run like HP Bug to eliminate Celebi, but then that's just neutral damage against the Jirachi, and you just lose to like Thunderbolt or Psychic at that in most cases. So you basically sadly have to go for Rock Slide flinches, and he was probably gonna need like a large handful of flinches to get through both Mon. Celebi resists Earthquake, Jirachi resists Double Edge. So there's not a click that deals with both Mon. And that's why I think blowing up with this meta when it was fairly healthy was a mistake, because you need to be able to pivot the arrow at least one extra time to switch its move, I think. And also it was a heads up play to pivot the Suicune in, I think, to tank that explosion. That ended up going in the Suicune player's favor, in my opinion. Also, why is YOLO Scarm not more popular? Mag is pretty prevalent. I bet, like, if you look at like usage stats, you could see like the percentage that like people bring mag. It's not 100%. And whenever the opponent doesn't bring mag, you've like crippled your Skarmory like defensively, because it's not you can't afford to invest in its defenses. You have to outspeed the mag, and you need enough offensive investment to one-hit KO it with HP ground. I think some of the YOLO Skarm sets might even run soft sand because you need the damage. So you could still click spikes, but like obviously Skarmory is amazing because it clicks spikes. Oh, look at that. Thunderbolt only did 18%. This could well, we have Forte as a spinner. So this mag is EV differently. It's not trying to one-hit KO the Skarm. It's trying to do something else. And I'm interested to see what that something else is going to be. If there's no mag, you can't easily switch it on Swampert or Bliss. Yeah, exactly, Gus. I agree. Like Skarmory clicks spikes. It's immune to sand. It's immune to toxic. It's immune to ground moves. But it's also like one of the best physical walls in the game, if not the best physical wall in the game. But when you cripple its ability to play that role, and when it doesn't have special defense investment, now like Fire Blasts and Flamethrowers and Thunderbolts are going to be lighting it up, and it's not going to be able to, you know, switch in, take a chunk, chip heal up with Protect, switch out to something else. And that's the best part about competitive Pokemon, in my opinion, is that like running different sets and like the ability to like mix and mash these pieces together. You can run a certain set and you gain something, but you're always giving something else up. And that's what makes all this so interesting to me. Endursilac, probably. You mean for the Magneton? Could be. I'm sorry, I'm getting like lost in the sauce. I'm not even paying attention to the match. So we can call Minding Up. Only taking 29 from the Psychic, and it's gonna do less than that now. So if Jirachi has Calm Mind, you could just like plant your stick in the sand here and say we're going in. It's you and me. Psychic's still doing 20. Crit gets there. Surf doing 41%, absolutely 2-hit KOs from this range, but you're slower. So Jirachi's still in a good spot here. I mean, you don't love losing all this health, but eliminating a threat like this is very helpful. You just rest here though, right? Rest, of course, okay. So now we got to get a phaser in. We haven't seen the last. Maybe it's Sleep Talk, and that's where I wish my knowledge was. I wish I knew all the contextual clues that would. Oh my gosh! And it simply was Crocoon. Critical hit Surf. What a break for Kalars. That's insane. But I bet like really strong players would be able to look at this team, look at the way that this player has played this match, and tell you, oh, well, based on this, and this, it's probably Crocoon. Or like, oh no, it's never Crocoon here because of this and this. And like, I feel like that's years of experience, and it's really tough for me to fill in those knowledge gaps. But you know, my style, I'm really like a play-by-play guy. So if I can get paired with somebody that has a lot of knowledge that can chip in and fill in gaps like that, that could be a really good like pairing for me. But yeah, this Suicune is going to the moon, man. Looks like Corvid Queen is running out of answers. Been asleep for 1 turn. 2 Calm Mind stacks. Surf is absolutely gonna kill. Why are we Will-O-Wisping? I don't know the thought process there. I really don't get it. And just, I mean, I'm kind of surprised that Gengar lives +2 Surf. Did anybody else expect that to just kill? Oh, okay. We have Destiny Bond. But there's no way that Starmie can solo 4 Pokemon, right? I mean, I like its matchup against my dog at 59%. Forte coming in. Forte can blow up. Hydro Pump is not going to make it. Unfortunate. The Will-O-Wisp's just trying to like burn some turns to not show your hand with respect to Destiny Bond, sure. Very confusing. I actually don't hate the play. It almost felt like they were throwing or like forfeiting without technically forfeiting. So my guard was down. I definitely would have clicked Surf and gotten Destiny Bonded as well. All right, what should we watch now? Let's watch the most recent one that started. That way we're not as far behind. Turn 9. Okay, so Jinx lead is gone. Tyranitar, Pursuit Tar is gone. Whoa, how did Pursuit Tar die? Jinx hit a crit Ice Beam to deal 72 to it. And Tyranitar crunch. It crunched Jinx sub. So Jinx had a sub up earlier in the match when T-Tar pivoted in. Took the Ice Beam. Oh, this is crazy. They were in on while we're waiting for this. Let's just we can honestly watch the whole match because we'll catch up eventually. So Zap subbing, they're both subbing on one another. That's crazy. This is stalematey. Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, sure, okay. Subbing up again. Ice Beam again. Good play by the Jinx in that spot. And baton passing to T-Tar, subbing over here. Subbing, yeah. And this is the lovely kiss turn, putting T-Tar to sleep. Blanche is a 1v1 main. Are you talking about like the LRXC format where... Oh no, that's 3v3. I don't know what 1v1 means. Is that where you bring 3, but that you only send out 1? And it's Doug. Okay. T-Tar woke up immediately and destroyed that that substitute, by the way. That was crazy. Huge burn on Jirachi. I love putting that thing on a timer. You have no idea what it's capable of. That's huge. Claydol coming in. Okay, Calm Mind Jirachi. HP Grass, I imagine. Earthquake does a chunk. HP Grass just did 54, so Claydol probably not going to want to stay in. Raikou can take that just fine. It's going to outspeed. Thunderbolt isn't going to deal 55. Subbing up on a Psychic. Good click. Good click. Blanche could have been greedy and clicked Calm Mind, and that sub could have really paid some dividends, but we give up the entire Raikou to position the Doug to take down this Jirachi, and we finally do so. Both players down to their last 4 remaining Pokemon. Yeah, special offense is having a day. There are a lot of people picking it up in these games. Oh, I have a notification. Let's see. I love all the feedback I'm getting on my videos. No face cam is great. I like that you didn't move the mouse a bunch in this video like you did in previous videos. I do have kind of a habit of moving my mouse around and like using it as like a pointer and like highlighting shit, hovering over Pokemon. They're like, this little UI window pops up. I can see how that would be quite annoying, honestly. Hello, this is WizP. I'm from the Melee community. I know you were friends with Zealot. I am friends with Zealot. It's funny to see the Melee cross into Pokemon so much. You saw Cobb commentate on a lot. You know this different chick who is direct friends with Jimothy that is a Peach main that played in Colorado for a while. Wow, small world. And we got GGs in the chat between these two. So presumably Rasta Pork and Blanche are of the opinion that this is over. Yeah, Doug can't. I mean, you have to Rock Slide because Earthquake doesn't hit Gengar. Not that it matters at that point. But yeah, Will, thanks for stopping by. Welcome to the channel. So you're you're also from the Melee community, but you seem to also be crossing into Pokemon. And how could you not, man? I joked, I think in the comment section of the Revival Tournament video that I commentated on recently, that Gen 3 OU is where all like the Melee heads who are old like me, whose hands are too scuffed to get into rock climbing, end up. Because a lot of Melee heads, I think in like the late 2010s, started getting into rock climbing for whatever reason. I played like Spaceys when I played Melee. I played like Fox and Falco primarily. All of like my like biggest wins and like biggest sets, I was playing like Fox or Falco. Very rarely Falcon, but like I played Falcon in a couple like losers bracket matches at like regionals and like at locals and stuff, but never anything like too crazy. But yeah, Zealot is my dude. Zealot and I got 9th place in doubles at the Big House 9 or 10. I think it's 9. Which is freaking crazy. Like I don't even know how many. There was like 100, 200 freaking teams, and we freaking made a goddamn run. He carried my ass, but we had a nice team. We were like static teammates while we both were living in Ohio. Any big wins against anybody cool? I like kind of took a set a little bit against Dreffen once, who's like a godfather of the game, like one of my goats. It was like at a local, and it like pretty much didn't count. Oh, you were at the Big House 9? Hell yeah. My biggest like in tournament win, I beat 2 separate top 100 players in tournament in my career. I beat L, who was like a Fox main, I think from like SoCal, or like somewhere on the West Coast, at Full Bloom 4 or Full Bloom 5. I think it was Full Bloom 4. And I beat Curve at Smash and Splash 5, which was my best placement. I got 33 out of like 750 people at Smash and Splash 5. I beat Curve in winners to make it to top 64. That was the only time I top 64 in a major. But that was back when Curve was still playing Luigi, and I think he was like a quarter of as strong of a player as he is now. I'm insanely washed. I actually have hit up some locals. I live in Seattle now. I've been hitting up some locals, and there's a pretty cool scene here in Seattle. They have like these really cool local tournaments that are free to enter. So they have like all these college kids coming by and playing, and it's normally like 50 entrants every week, which is really cool to see. And it's crazy because like I don't play anymore, like basically at all. I just like kind of brought a controller, showed up, and I've made top 8 twice. I lost in grand finals in one of them. I think I got 4th one time, and I got 9th another time. Literally all 6 of my losses are Spaceys. Like all these fast, like technical Spaceys with like these insane punish games, I cannot keep up. But like all the midweights, all the floaties, like they're slow enough that like my lack of like tech skill doesn't matter. Like I can rely on my game sense. Like I haven't lost to a Puff. I haven't lost to a Peach. I haven't lost to a Sheik. I haven't lost to a Marth. Like I only lose to Spaceys, and it's like so weird. Because I used to like be like pretty good at those matchups. Oh yeah, I'm going to Dome Park. I'll be at Dome Park. Should be pretty fun. Let's see, Squeamish Cube and Base are in a match. Oh, this one also just ended. We might be out of matches unless this one's still going. No, that's over. Experience carries, but like you still have to shake off the rust. Like I could kind of move my character, but like I'm not as nice with it as I used to be. Yeah, man, I'll be there. I applied for commentary, but I haven't been contacted yet, so I don't think I got it. I haven't been super active in the Melee community, so I wasn't really expecting to get a spot commentating at Dome Park. And I've only just recently started kind of like showing up and really engaging in the local Seattle scene. I am still in ADV Revival 2. I'm 3-2, but one of my wins and one of my losses were forfeits due to activity, just scheduling conflicts. So like in matches I actually played, I'm 2-1. And my loss was yesterday actually to Xtina, the other commentator, and she's awesome. She like destroyed me. So I am gonna play at least one more set, and I'm kind of excited for tomorrow for like round 6 to start, and you know, see who my opponent is and everything. Oh, here we go. Turn 5 here. Let's start this one over. We'll catch up. We got Leo Perry 99 and Diego in. Baton passing. Wait, it wasn't a baton pass. It was just a... Hold on. I'm sorry, everybody. Oh, that's the girl that you know that's friends with Jim that played in Colorado. Yeah, that makes sense with like the time zone difference too. I think she's like the first person I played that like lives in the States. Like everybody else was like in Europe or like further east, and scheduling was honestly kind of crazy. All right, what is happening here? It's Shiny Medi, it's Zapdos, hard switching to Claydol, sub comes up on Zapdos. Okay, all right, we're into the action. Snorlax hanging out, easily gonna take what is likely an HP Grass that was clicked in the face of the Claydol. Focus Punch. Okay, so we get the Breloom in. We're going to lose the sub, but Breloom clearly and obviously will outspeed the Snorlax, threatening Spore. We sack the Spore on Medi because it has Lump. I don't even know who's supposed to be faster in that spot. And Salamence is a pretty great answer to Medi. Intimidate it, resist its fighting moves. HP Flying resisted by Metagross. Some nice pivoting and positioning by these guys. Salamence revealed to be mixed with Fire Blast. Rock Slide doing heaps. And yeah, Salamence does not want to stick in. It's a double switch. Claydol's in. Do you ever just blow up on Suicune there? Because, I mean, I guess they could always still have a Spiker in the back, but I feel like the Spiker being revealed as the 5th or 6th Mon is pretty unusual, uncommon. All right, so Hidden Power Flying. We're getting Leech Seeded. So surely Breloom is out of here. And we're doubling to Suicune on a Blissey. Okay, shiny Suicune at that. Snorlax getting Thunder Waved. And it's Focus Punch Snorlax. Body Slam gets there. Oh, full Parad though. And Hidden Power Flying does 31%. That's a lot, man. That's more than I would expect from non-Focus Band Salamence, but I guess Snorlax's special defense is really where it shines, not its physical defense. Suicune in. Sleeping Claydol in on a substituted Zapdos. That's not where you want to be if you're Leo Perry 99. Blissey with a sub. What is Blissey going to be clicking here? More Thunder Waves? Oh, just take some value with Seismic Toss, sure. No sand in this one, so Snorlax is happy to... Oh my god, counter? But counter doesn't work if it's destroying your substitute. I guess counter only takes into consideration any HP you lost that turn. So I learned something about counter. Interesting. And that's also huge knowledge for Leo Perry. Now counter Blissey's been revealed. Much more easy to play around that. That's wild. If anybody watched the video that I posted this morning, Game 3 started with a lead Snorlax countering a lead Metagross's Meteor Mash on turn 1. And that shit was crazy. Average, Walrus, and Loneling also starting a match. I'm going to see what I can learn about these guys. Let's see. Diego. All right. Diego won their first match in round 1. They won in round 2 as well. They also won in round... Oh, wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong one. They lost to this guy, Mux, in round 3. And they lost to Salamaster in round 4. So both of these gamers are 2-2. This is a do-or-die situation. Let's see this. Oh, and this is game 3. We missed games 1 and 2. This is it. One of these players is eliminated. All right, I'm going to lock in. This is insane. Suicune is already going to the moon. This Zap does not have Roar. And Suicune's about to wake up. What do? You're just chipping it down. Ice Beam obviously and clearly kills. Salamence? No, Breloom. Can Breloom outspeed? Doubling the Suicune on an Ice Beam. I'm trying to understand the pivoting. Were you expecting Leo Perry to switch out a Calm Mind boosted Suicune? I wouldn't have anticipated that. Maybe we don't have anything left that outspeeds. 262 to 295. It has a lower base speed, so depending on the investments, maybe wasn't confident that Breloom truly was faster, but then why would we go Breloom in the first place after the Zapdos dies? I'm a little confuzzled. Seismic Toss really, really wanted a full para there, and I'm not seeing a ton of ways to deal with this Suicune. Could be focus punching here. Getting a leech on it is enormous. Looks like that's what he wanted to do all along. And finally, we force it to switch out. We get a sub up. You could just leech again. Surely you have like a move. And what's interesting is by going to sleep and healing, this Suicune is denying Breloom the ability to put anything else to sleep. And Breloom is just going to try to subseed its way to victory here. But we've allowed this thing to Dragon Dance up twice. Wow. That looked sustainable, actually. That was actually just going to work. It just healed so much because of no sand. Because no sand, the leftover plus the leech seed. Excuse me. Looks like they were net losing 1 HP per turn. Completely crazy. Salamence coming in. This Breloom is putting in more work than I thought a Breloom was really ever going to be able to put in. Now that the sub is gone, Salamence doubles out to Medi. Medi gets back in on the Suicune. And we're getting our own Suicune back in. Leo Perry 99 is. We're 55 turns into this one, and only 1 Mon is gone. We could be here a second. We could be here a second, everybody. Another Calm Mind. Clicking Thunder Wave. Seismic Toss it down. Try to force it to rest. Get the Breloom in. Leech Seed it again. Subseed it. Force it out. If you get good enough full Paraluck. Oh, clicking Wish there. Instead of Seismic Toss? I guess it worked out. And it kind of makes me wonder why Leo Perry would even bother surfing in that spot. Because it's just all going to get healed anyway. Isn't the Calm Mind stack much more valuable? Breloom comes in. You have 1 free turn. And just immediately go into the Salamence. Keeping the Suicune healthy. Not wanting it to get seeded. Suicune pivoting back in aggressively. And it could burn a sleep turn in front of the Suicune. We've seen the full set. It's not Sleep Talk. We're subbing up. And just Ice Beaming. Nice. Yeah, in the face of the Breloom. And that Breloom is apparently one of Diego's only ways to deal with both the Calm Mind Suicune and the Dragon Dance Salamence. Snorlax coming in to deny anything else getting T-waved. And Body Slam doing a chunk and getting a para on the Blissey. But that, it's counter. It's still counter Blissey. And Diego with a little bit of momentum here. Agility Gross is... Well, okay. I don't know. Wait a minute. Meteor Mash surely kills from this range, right? Like, it's not even close. This is crazy. He just chip healed up like 5 times by like repeatedly clicking counter, and nothing bad happened to the Blissey. The Salamence is gone. Looks like it was Special Mence. Oh my god, they both barely live. Crazy. And if it weren't for the Intimidate from earlier, that would have killed Doug, but Medi is out of here. We saved the Doug on 4%. That can come in and try to trap and kill either the Metagross or the Suicune. And honestly, this Doug could be the only way to deal with the Suicune. That's an amazing Toxic. That's huge. Surfing it down, continuing to pressure this. This Salamence is not long for this world. This is looking like one of the main threats. And all of a sudden, Diego countered the Snorlax, We dug the Medi barely. We've toxic this Mence. That's all but dealt with. And now we just have to find a way to break this Columbine Suicune. Could be a big ask. Thunder waving it is hugely helpful. Tough to pivot the Breloom in. Just go to Doug. Oh man. Well, you could go to the Breloom now and just sub up and try to get a full para. Sub is so good here. And yes, yeah, we're subbed up. The Salamence is in a terrible spot. Leech is like the freest click of all time. Focus Punch revealed. Oh, I guess he clicked it once already. But Salamence is dead. Leo Perry typing GG in the chat. Isn't that a bit preemptive? I didn't even know this Claydol was still asleep, by the way. It's been asleep for 4 turns, so it must have gotten spored like a while ago. Subseed is going to go pretty hard here. How much health? 16%. So 16, that's 22%. It's only losing 3% every loop that it decides to stay in on the Claydol and keep subseeding. Sub. Okay. Each sub costs you 19%. You could just keep going for the full para. You could get it eventually. Okay, we're just pivoting to the Blissey on an Ice Beam. Nice. Suicune has no Calm Mind stacks. You can just start Seismic Tossing it. Wishing up. Yeah, see, I don't know what the wish is meant to do. Oh my god, that Surf resisted did 60%. I'm surprised at that. That's crazy. That was a really aggressive pivot. I guess you were trying to make something happen. But I really thought that, I mean, only 9 more Ice Beams. I mean, you're not really going to be able to PP stall Suicune, right? It's going to be the other way around. You only had 6 substitutes left, maybe even fewer, because some of those were probably clicked in front of the pressure Suicune. So, yeah, I understand feeling like you kind of had to make a play. That's wild. And Diego out of the tournament. Leo Perry moving on to round 6 with a 3-2 record. Congratulations to them. They're still in. That's wild. Counter working on hidden power is one of the funnier things in the game. That's Gen 3? I thought that was like Gen 2 or something. That's wild. Average Walrus and Loneling. All right, that also ended. That is also over. Oh no, no, it's not. It's not over at all. I think we were just waiting for them to switch a mod in or something. Okay. Looks like this is game 3 between these gamers. I'm gonna quickly check their records. Loneling lost in round 1. Lost in round 2, so they must have won their next 2 to force a round 5. And just like before, one of these gamers is going home. This is one of their last games of the tournament. 2-2. Doesn't get much bigger than this. Those like sets in round 10 between people that are like 7-2, that's gonna be like fucking hype as shit. Pressure only affects attacks. It doesn't affect like substitute or leech seed. Can anybody else corroborate that claim? If that's true, I had no idea. There's no pressure mon on screen. That's crazy knowledge. So Leech Seed is an attack, but like Calm Mind doesn't get pressure stalled. Substitute doesn't get pressure stalled. That's wild. I'm gonna look that up. This is a, don't take no offense. This is a trust but verify situation. Pressure Pokemon ability. Deducts double the foe's PP for every successful hit. Wow. I did not know it worked that way. So if you miss, then it doesn't pressure it. It's only when you hit the opposing Pokemon. That's crazy. Interesting. And I look away for 2 seconds and this game is completely over. And Average Walrus out. Loneling still in. Love Charizard. Got to click 1 Fire Blast. Oh my god. That's a lot of Dragon Dances. that's many Dragon Dances. Wonder how they were able to do that. Let's like get the Ments in and kind of see what happened. Okay. DD up here from this spot, Lax at 68, fully healthy HeyYa. HP flying just kills. And yeah, Snorlax can't. It chooses to curse up, but you're dead. Oh, you're not dead. And it rests. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the last is, but that sounds really scary. Yeah, no, HP flying is just doing so much. Needed a body slam parry here, didn't get it. And so there's gonna be another hidden power. Oh wait, it's Endure. Wow, Dragon Dancing on the Endure Heracross. It had already clicked it. It had already clicked it. That makes sense. Can you endure like multiple turns in a row? Because I'm trying to figure out why the Hera wouldn't have clicked Endure again. Maybe it was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna Swords Dance, assuming that he's Dragon Dancing again. But I think eventually, like, you have so much speed that you outrun the Slack anyway. Yeah, Wick is. I think we're. Ryan Keithley also joining in. I apologize, everybody. So do you think, does +1 Ments outspeed Slack Hera? Endure has a chance to fail if used in multiple succession. It works like Protect. How am I learning so much about Gen 3 mechanics? I thought I knew mostly everything except really niche stuff. Apparently not. Wild. Big Squatto and Nexhawk. Okay. Turn 24, 0 Mons eliminated. We've got Superman offense over on the left. And we've got Slacking Umbreon, Fori Blissey. Very interesting. Umbreon's click Pursuit and Protect a couple times. We've seen Focus Punch twice from Slacking. Moltres is Toxic. Maybe there's some aroma happening here. Blissey pivoting in on the Skarmory. Fori Umbreon Sandless might be the longest game ever. Next Hawk 2. Let me try to see what match this is. This is not game 1. This is game 3 as well. All right, well, you know what I'm doing. Figuring out the records. Okay. So Squatto won round 1. Won round 2. Lost round 3. Won round 4. Okay, they're both 3-1. No one's going home yet. But you don't want to collect that second loss. Next what? Come on, man. That's not the kind of stream we're in. I'm not going to say like Hawk to I'm 31 damn years old, brother. The smoothie is damn good, though. Need to get some more water at some point. Yeah, man, we could be in for a long one. That game 3 was a crit simulator. Yeah, it really was. Hits Roar on Sleep Talk. It's a favorable outcome. It's the fastest Roar of all time. Gengar pivoting in on a return. Maybe even worried about a Focus Punch, so favorable outcome. You also just get a little bit more knowledge on the set. I guess most Slacking are running these two exact moves along with, what, Earthquake, maybe a Hidden Power fighting or something. Zapdos shrugging off the Flamethrower pretty well. Ryan Keithley, gotta go. Want to say you've been enjoying my uploads. The Revival channel has been slow plus hinkage. Well, I appreciate the kind words. We don't have to, let's not spread any negativity towards volunteer commentators. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I don't have my favorite commentators that are in a group, but everybody's doing their part here. I do appreciate you stopping by, though, and checking out my uploads. I've been having so much fun with this channel, and I'm excited to keep making more content, more Pokemon stuff. It's been, like, really fun. Like, it's just been, like, a cool project for me to kind of, like, dedicate my time to and look forward to. And it's going, honestly, surprisingly well. I'm, like, pretty happy with how things are going. How many views is the current video up to? We broke 500. Cool. The one from 2 days ago is at like 1,500, 1,600. So this has been a fun experience. Yeah, hinkage hate, not in my chat. Not gonna be. We're not gonna stand for hate on any commentators, really. But the Revival channel, it is behind. It's tough because there's so many matches, right? It's a Swiss with 700 entrants. So crazy, by the way, that this format has seen such a glow up that we have so many people entering these. Very cool scene. And I think the channel's just trying to cover as much as it can, you know? Just trying to cover a lot of matches. It is falling a little bit behind during the Swiss stage, but once we get to like the main event, it'll be like a little bit more up to date. And the amount of work that's put in by like strictly volunteers, like I don't think most people that like are working behind the scenes on that stuff are getting paid, man. I think it's a passion project. And that's kind of why I wanted to make my channel, you know, is like I'm just one person and I can kind of stay up to date with like the rounds as they're happening. That was a little bit of the goal, and I think I'm filling like a cool niche for the community. It's cool to provide this service, and I'm having a lot of fun doing it. Broken mics or very thick accents. Yeah, not everybody has like the same level of like equipment, and I wouldn't really expect them to. But I mean, the scene is seeing such a glow up. Oh, Pursuit on the Gengar only doing 46, devastating, and still turn 51, no Deadmon. Let's do a quick vibe check. Slaking at 26. These two Mon are not looking overly healthy. Moltres is looking nice, full health, nearly full health. Pert's at 64. How about you, Squado? Gengar's down to 40. Everything else looking decent. Yeah, Squado's got more spikes, and their Mons are overall healthier. You gotta think that they're probably in a good spot. Superman versus Fori, neither with T-Tar. Yeah, buckle in, everybody. If another match starts up that seems a little bit more interesting, we could always pivot. But this is, as far as I can tell, this is the only active Gen 3 OU match that's currently happening. And that's a fortunate burn. Sunny Day. Dude, how much does Sunny Day Overheat do to Blissey? Like, everybody vibe calc it in your head. I'm calling it's doing, like, 68. 68 to 74%. I guess we'll never know. Okay, so paralyzing the Fortress, that could be huge. Actually, never mind. There's 7 aromatherapies remaining. Okay, Hidden Power... Bug? Doesn't one of these resist bug? What hidden power would that be? Somebody chime in. I know somebody knows. Somebody's like, oh, Zets, come on, man. Of course, that's hidden power. Could be fire. Maybe it's simply hidden power fire. 40? Sunny day overheat Moltres on Blissey, only doing 40? Crazy. Maybe it's steel. Could be steel. 40's gonna have to get the heck up out of here. And this is the position that Squatto wants to create. Oh my gosh! Spiking in the face of Moltres, brilliant. And getting roared out, huge value. And notice, it is Superman, so the only spike prevalent mon, or vulnerable mon is the Blissey. Getting through the Blissey is insanely valuable though. And that took a lot of boldness to risk the entire fortress with 3 spikes on your side of the field. Oh my gosh, thank goodness there's no sand for next Hawk 2, because that could have been his entire Moltres. He almost traded his whole Moltres for a missed Toxic. Moltres gets roared back in. You calced it and it's only 39 to 46. Blissey's so crazy. That's so wild. Forgive me, folks. My phone's like blowing up. We're back. Oh my god, I missed it. The Moltres is gone. The Moltres is out of here. Your head calcs are kind of nice. You came out with 40 kind of right off the bat, and damn it, you were right. We sack the Umbreon. We spike sack it to get Moltres in, but you get outsped by the Gengar. Why are we pivoting Moltres into Gengar? Well, maybe it doesn't have Thunderbolt. It's only been clicking Fire Punch and Giga Drain so far. That allowed us to get a Flamethrower on the Zapdos, which didn't do all that much. 32%. This is tough. How do you find an opportunity to get the Fori in and get these spikes out of here? Well, this could be a chance. I think you have to take it here. Oh my god, Thunderbolt does 57. It's over. The only spike immune Mon left is a 28% Moltres that's getting outsped by the Zapdos and the Gengar, I think. Slacking is barely not dying to the spikes. Blissey is going to be damn low. It's kind of crazy that both the Slacking and the Swampert are on exactly 26%. I don't see much of a way forward for next Hawk 2 anymore. Yeah, Blissey paralyzing this fortress, and then the fortress just was never able to find an opportunity to safely spin these spikes away. Insane. Swampert pivots in on a Thunderbolt. Surely it's some sort of HP last. It's Roar. Oh my god, clicked Roar, and a Torrent Surf does heaps to Zapdos, but I do fear that it's a bit too little too late. Zap Bliss with no sand, just live forever. Apparently, Blissey coming in, taking the Toxic. Spike's not doing equal amounts of damage. I mean, the first one does like 12.5. The second one only adds an extra 6, right? Because it goes to 18.5. And then the third one does 25. Right? It's something like that. Maybe the second one does 18 instead of 18.5. I should probably... That's probably something I should know. I need a freaking notebook. I need to get on my, like, study grind. Alright, so the Zapdos goes down to the Blissey, by the way. Not sure how I feel about that. Aromatherapy. Slacking. This is it. Yeah, you can never... Oh my gosh. Slacking is not even going to choose to click... I guess that makes sense because you're just going to get protected on. So now Slacking has been... It's just a Spike Sack. As is Swampert. They're simply Spike Sacks. Blissey and Moltres are the only actual Pokemon remaining. Toxic the Flygon. Rock Slide doesn't kill. Morning Sun is pretty nice healing. Getting toxic though, great click. Great click by the Flygon. You can aroma that with your own Blissey, but they both have aroma. Flamethrower doing 30 to Blissey. You need to crit the Flamethrower. I think that's your only out. You have to crit Flamethrower. Doesn't get there. Clicked aroma though. Okay, hold on. That's 18%, 20%. So Blissey can switch out and come back in on 2% if it wants. Flamethrower was doing 28% in Sun. So without Sun, I don't think, maybe there's a roll that kills, but I think most rolls probably come up a bit short. This is a big moment, but I feel like the chances for Nexhawk to win this are slowly slipping away. Oh, it's 12.5, 16 2/3. Wow. Yeah, that second spike sucks. The third one is nice as hell. I didn't know the second one was that poor. Thanks, Whitgiz. All right, we're spike sacking. We're getting Moltres out. We're getting Blissey in. We're trying to find an opportunity to aroma. We could heal up here. Is anything asleep? Because it's still Sing Blissey. In Squatta's, Blissey's gone, by the way. The Flamethrower did end up doing 20%, literally 3 turns ago. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not locked in enough. Gengar taunting Moltres. No Sunny Day, no Morning Sun shenanigans. But we don't know what the last is from Gengar. I would be worried about Explosion. But surely it would have clicked Thunderbolt by now. I don't think it has Thunderbolt. Missed the Sing on the Scarm. All this thing is really doing is roaring, toxicking. And roaring could be really nice to force the slacking sack so that you don't have it as a spike sack anymore. Not going to go for it, though. Blissey aromaing. Maybe I called this one too soon. This particular Moltres, supported by Aroma Therapy Blissey, might be enough to bring this all the way back. This Gengar doesn't really look like it's poised to threaten either Mon. Rock Slide is huge against Moltres, but if Sunny Day is up, Morning Sun can outscale it. That said, only 6 remaining of both. And the Rock Slides will be pressure stalled, but the Flygon's asleep. No more Aroma, though. So if you can find a way to Toxic the Flygon and then pivot the Blissey in, you should be able to stall the Flygon out. There's absolutely avenues for Nexhawk to win it. Honestly, they may even be in the lead, depending on what the last is for Gengar. We're spike sacking the slacking to force the Moltres in now. Flygon has spent 0 turns to sleep, so you can click Sunny Day. Last time Rock Slide did exactly 76, so this is a scary moment. If it wakes up, you could die. Fortunately, for Nexhawk, you're still alive, and it would need to be a crit for anything truly awful to happen. Oh, and that's a crit Flamethrower, and I think they actually will win this. I think Nexhawk has brought it back. Squatto with the GG in the chat, and wow, Squatto just forfeits, admitting that they've got nothing to deal with the Moltres anymore. Moltres obviously outspeeds and destroys Skarmory, and Gengar simply has no answer to Moltres. Wow. I stand corrected. When they lost that Fortress to 76% Thunderbolt, and they were going to have to deal with these 3 spikes, they lost Umbreon. I was looking around, and I was like, I don't know. I don't see a path forward. And they slowly but surely eliminated the Zapdos. They eliminated the Moltres. They eliminated the Blissey. This Moltres went in so hard, and supported by Aroma Blissey, very well piloted. Very well done. How is beat up calculated? I know, like, of the mechanics. Like, it takes the base attack stat, so it doesn't take into consideration any of the investment. And it, like, calculates based off of the number of Mon that you have that are alive and healthy, i.e. not statused. So if you have 6 healthy Mon, you get 6 hits. It like, there's like an algorithm that takes all of the base attack stats. So like Blissy's is like 10, right? Like Tyranitar's is like what, 135 or something. And those are used to calculate like the base power of the individual hits that the Mon clicking beat up will implement. But like obviously none of that is actually going to be, I'm not like going to be explaining that very often on the mic, right? Like all the viewer really needs to know is like beat up kills Blissey, man. It just like, it goes in, and because like Blissy's base defense stat is so low, it just gets like completely obliterated. Yeah, Wickes is exactly correct. Like, I even tried to see if I could find like a calculator online, and I think one exists, but I don't even know if it's like super accurate. And if you do have a healthy team, it should consistently 2-shot Bliss. That was wild. This was a wild game. Craziness. These are the teams I've been looking at. Here, let's go to the team builder. Here, can you guys see this? Gotta check OBS. Yeah, you guys can pretty much see what's going on here. So who did I play Xtina with? I think I started with this this Glalie lead. And something really unfortunate happened to my Jolteon in this game. I think this is a team I took from like a gym vid. And then the other team I used was like this balance team. I think it's another sample team where you start with like this this physical Mence, choice band Mence. Yama's knocking things off, Claydol's spinning things away. We have Kurokun here for like the end game. Like Wish Protect, Toxic, Jirachi, and like Aromatherapy, Blissey to like kind of support everything. And I got like a burn in game 2 against Xtina with the Jirachi on her Metagross and eventually eliminated the Metagross. I felt like I was in a good spot. She got 3 spikes up. I got my Claydol in. She pivoted her Claydol in. And on the turn I click Rapid Spin, I don't know if it was a speed tie, but she went first and boomed. So I couldn't spin the spikes away. She eliminated my spinner. And then later she blew up my Blissey with her Gengar. And it was like, damn. Like now, like a lot of what this team relies on is completely gone. I couldn't Aromatherapy to remove a paralysis from my Jirachi. And like, so this couldn't like heal with like Wish Protect because it was getting like pressured by everything. Yeah, it just, yeah, I could find the replay. Let me see if I can find it. All right, because this is a replay, I gotta find like a different. One moment, folks. There we go. All right. Let's see how this went. We could do a little bit of review here. I love her Lorelei sprite too. Such a cool sprite throwback to the childhood. Okay. So I'm physical choice band Mence. I think I click Rock Slide here to try to get some chip damage and possibly flinch the Scarm. I'm thinking I have my Claydol in the back, so even if it gets a couple spikes, like I can deal with that later. But I don't have like a Mag. I don't have a Zapdos. I don't have a Jolteon. I don't have like big electric move. So the only way to beat the Scarm is like knock it off with Yama and like eventually slowly wear it down, like chip it down, right? So I'm pretty sure that was my thought process behind just clicking Rock Slide and like taking some chip. If I get a flinch, awesome. Maybe I go straight to Yama. I actually go straight to Yama hoping to knock this off. I accept 1 spike. I end up knocking off the Claydol. And after this game, she told me that she was aware of this team, which I'm not surprised because it's a sample team and she's a very experienced player. So I think she was probably able to, at some point she recognized the team, and she was probably able to pivot around and like more than like, you know, a less aware opponent would have been. But nevertheless, we knock off the Claydol. I switched to my own Claydol on an Earthquake, and she gets the Skarmory back in. I Shadow Ball, thinking that either I'm hitting the Claydol in front of me, or maybe she has a spin blocker and she would go to like a Gengar or like some Ghost type. And she used that opportunity to get the Skarmory in, which was awesome for her. So do I just hard pivot back Yama? No, I go Blissey, because Blissey at least has Thunderbolt, and she Drill Pecks, which is kind of awesome. I mean, it does like good work against the Yama. And I mean, it did 23 to Blissey after we stepped on a spike. So now, like, we're gonna have to heal up at some point before we leave, or we're gonna be very inclined to do so. So she hard pivots into the meta. I do elect to immediately heal up. She goes Regice. I get Suicune in. I guess I was thinking, like, I was looking around at my team. Last is Jirachi, and I'm like, what is my answer to meta? I was trying to find like a mon that likes to switch into meta, and I couldn't really find it. Is it supposed to be Yama? Like, if it doesn't have Psychic, which, you know, what percent of Metagross do? If it's clicking Meteor Mash, like, what's my switch? I couldn't exactly figure that out, and I didn't want to give up health on the Claydol because I really wanted to save its health for like spinning until like I had like eliminated the Skarm. So maybe I'm supposed to be switching the Claydol in on meta instead. Nevertheless, we double its Suicune Regice now. We pivot the Jirachi in, get Thunder Waved. This is the Thunder Wave that crippled me later on. So you agree that going to Suicune on the meta is the play. Okay. And she pivots into the meta, and I Fire Punch. I thought it was a pretty straightforward fight. It hits the whole world. And we have a 20% chance to burn the opponent. Didn't get it here. I decided to just like protect to C, because I'm like, it could be choice banned, and I mean, maybe that's like a bad protect, because like, first of all, para chance, second of all, it could just be a Gilligros. So in retrospect, I don't really know if I would protect again there. They Earthquake, we click Fire Punch again, and we get the burn this time, which is like really nice. I think she's just going to trade down here. No, she leaves and gets the Claydol in. I get a full para. And I don't know if I'm wishing or just Fire Punching there. Don't exactly remember what I clicked. We pivot the Claydol in on an Earthquake. And I think this could be where she blows up. And I guess I didn't realize that Claydol Explosion kills the other Claydol. I thought I would like maybe like at least have some health. But that was huge, because not only is this spike sticking, but again, this team doesn't have like what one move does the most damage to Skarmory on my entire team? Like, does Jirachi even have Thunderbolt? It doesn't. Blissey has Thunderbolt. Is Blissey Thunderbolt to do like what does it even do? Like 50? My head calcs aren't super great, but it's not doing 100. So that effectively means that this Skarm is at least getting a second spike. And in all likelihood, it's probably getting a third spike that are sticking for the rest of the match. So when I let her explode the Claydol onto mine, we're in an awful spot already, because the pace of this team is so slow. We're trying to knock things off. We're trying to toxic them. We're aroma therapying to like cleanse status. Like, we're wishing other mons. So from this spot, I was like, fuck, man. That's really bad. Suicune Hydro Pump Surf, Jirachi Fire Punch. Yeah, but the Jirachi's also paralyzed now. So she can just go directly to the Skarm here, which she should do, and she does. I decided to bring the Mence in, and thinking like, okay, Choice Band Rock Slide is doing 30-some%. Like, maybe I get some flinches. If I can get like 1 or 2, maybe she is forced to switch out or something. I don't get 1. Is she gonna protect Chip Heal? She does. And I'm banded, obviously, so we're sliding. And yeah, maybe it was a mistake to go Mence here. I get 1 flinch, but the crazy thing is like, she just protect Chip Heals here again if she wants. And I'm like, I'm not getting all that much done. She does click protect, so we get the Yama in on the right turn. And I could knock it off here if I want, and I think I do. But, like, how valuable is it? Like, once the Skarmory clicks the 3rd spikes, it's done its job. And I have 4 grounded Mon that are going to be taking 25% to switch, which basically destroys my entire team. And that's the thing is, like, one explosion, I feel like, ruined this entire team. Like, the entire structure, like, falls apart. And, like, we don't have anything to directly pressure Skarm. So I was trying to push myself out of my comfort zone to play something with a slightly slower pace. But, like, I really don't like that if you get outplayed in one spot, like on one turn, and you lose a crucial Pokemon, like it just falls apart. So like it just like dismantles Skarmory so slowly, meaning the Claydol has to stay alive. So like maybe I'm just never allowed to keep the Claydol in against that Claydol, and I have to sack the explosion somewhere else. But then like how am I ever like clicking Rapid Spin? Have to find a different opportunity. And not sure how valuable that knockoff is. Maybe I just take chip damage on it. We're pivoting the Menson. We're outspeeding the Metagross. It's pretty burned at this point. We just kill it with Brick Break. And even though I'm up a Mon, I love her position. Gengar is threatening. It's Ice Punching. And this is the spot I'm in now. I'm in this spot. She's Ice Punched me. It's a critical hit too, so I lose a little bit more health than normal. Probably not that meaningful. But I think I'm like, all right, well, I'm just going to heal up. Like, it can Will-O-Wisp me if it wants. There's a lot of other things it can do. And I think ultimately I decided, like, I need to get this Blissey healthy. And I think my only out is to kind of hope that this Gengar can't do anything to me. Like, Claydol had Explosion. There's a meta here. So this Gengar doesn't need Explosion necessarily. That's already 2 separate answers to Blissey, and there's an unrevealed Mon. This is my thought process, right? So I keep the Blissey in, I click some button, maybe Soft Boiled, I get blown up on. And to me, now it's truly over. Like, I have no Blissey, I have no Aromatherapy. The Thunder, or the Paralysis, I might have even clicked Aromatherapy. The Paralysis is sticking on this Jirachi. Like, it felt so bad, man. The Skarmory comes back in. And I pivot to Salamence, and I'm getting roared and taking huge amounts of chip damage. And Drill Peck just crits. I don't think that would have killed without the crit. So I don't get some sort of chip damage that I would have gotten otherwise. Feels pretty bad. And also, like, I wasn't expecting the Skarmory to outspeed me, but maybe I should have. It has a higher base speed. So I wasn't familiar enough with the team to understand how to pilot it well, to understand my vulnerabilities, and I guess it's like, I also didn't want to be overly afraid of Explosion. I didn't want to just, like, always give her initiative and pivot out anytime an explosion could possibly happen. And it's a sample size of 1 game. She simply clicked Explosion on turn 1 of both opportunities, and I stayed in both times. So, to me, like, in some ways, she won 2 coin flips. In other ways, she understands the team very well and knew exactly what she needed to eliminate and how she needed to eliminate them. With Regice too, though, it does seem like a boom spam team. That's a very good point and an important consideration. There's now 4 different Mon that know boom that are revealed. But then that makes it all the more difficult to keep certain Pokemon alive. And I guess I was too afraid of the prospect of being overly afraid of the booms and just switching on these spikes. And they don't even click boom, and they just click a button and get even more value. And then they can just simply boom on that turn, and I feel like I'm in an even worse position. So I think I've made a lot of mistakes, but I also just feel like I fundamentally don't really like vibe with like this pace. And again, I'm sure a better player would feel differently, but it just feels like flimsy to me, where like everything supports one another very strongly. I understand the synergy, but it feels very reliant on one another. And if we lose any piece, it just feels like we now have like gaping, like blaring holes, and then other things start falling and the whole structure kind of crumbles. But again, I'm a bad player. So Jirachi comes in on a ton of spikes. We're getting outsped by everything. We're getting full paired, no fire punch. We're getting roared. Everything's taking so much chip damage. And It could be roaring. I think I just click a button. Yeah, just click surf. Regice obviously could boom. I should probably pivot to the Jirachi and try to tank the boom there. But she's not booming. See, she's T-waving. And I do have rest. So I could heal that eventually. I feel like I should be Calm Minding at some point. Thunderbolt gets there. I Calm Mind, and I think I should live this. I do. But I get full parried. So I could have rested. If I'm resting and I'm like, I'm Crocune, right? Am I Crocune? Yeah. No, I don't have Sleep Talk, I have Roar. So that would have been a tough loop. Thunderbolt was doing 30. So I really don't know if there was a path to victory, but not being able to rest on that turn was like kind of the nail in the coffin. Very unfortunate. Jirachi stepping on so many spikes. Chip healing back up to 26%. Thunderbolt doesn't get there. It's a wish, and you know I click protect here, and you know I get full parried, and we just simply die. And the full health Salamence comes in to receive a wish that it doesn't need. And from this point, I'm like, okay, well, I need to Rock Slide flinch everything, and it hits whatever I can see in front of me. So we ball, and we don't get it. So some slightly unfortunate paras at the end. But again, she did a really good job of dismantling the structure such that I couldn't aromatherapy. Not sure how meaningful some of like the interactions were, some of those full paras. The critical hit on my Yama. The Skarmory never even had to come back in. But I could have at least thought about preserving it if it lived off of that Drill Peck. So Drill Peck crit, some full paras, really, really timely explosions on her end. And yeah, that was game 2. I lost 0-2, and I can't remember that much about game 1. But yeah, man, she kind of went in. Live matches. Let's see if there's anything else happening. I'll probably cut the stream pretty soon. This has been fun, but I've been live for how long now? About 2 hours. Let's see. Tacat and Capital General 2. Capiteo? Alright, we're in turn 36. Looks like we're nearing an endgame here. And we will pivot back over to this view for the fans. Looks like the first game between these gamers. I'm not seeing any previous games of theirs in the queue. This Calm Mind Suicune is going insane. But it hasn't clicked rest. Ice Beam, Calm Mind, Surf. Yeah, obviously Ice Beam is going to get there. +3 Surf must do 30, right? It does. I don't think that crit mattered. Milo is fully healthy, though. Does Suicune have rest? Now's the time to click it. It doesn't have it. Critical hit Ice Beam. Jeez. Feels bad for Milo. Toxic will finally take down that offensive lead, Suicune. And Celebi coming in probably... Oh, Calm Minding up. On the recover, sure. I like Takat's position here. Hasn't shown Leech Seed. But you imagine that's often the last. Tacat thinking. Oh, and last was Psychic and another crit. Dude, honestly, that's so unfortunate. That's 2 crits on this Milo. I think the Milo might have been fine, if not for both of the crits. The Ice Beam crit into the Psychic crit. Alright, now that we have a second, I will investigate the records of these gamers. Let me see if I can find Tacat. Tacat won round 1. Lost round 2 to Jumpy, understandable. Won round 3. Oh, and lost round 4. So these are 2-2 gamers. That's huge. And we're starting game 2 already. Lead Suicune versus lead Milo. The rematch. Hell yeah. This is weird. Takat's name was not capitalized over here. Now it's capitalized. Oh, switching in the immunity lax. Sure, sure. Makes a lot of sense. Makes a ton of sense. Registeel coming in. Getting parried. It's pretty freaking slow. It has a higher base speed than Lax, actually. So it could have outsped. But not anymore. Mag coming in and getting parried. Trapping the Registeel. HP Fire a couple times. We'll probably get there. Reggie can... So you're telling me, chat, you're telling me that HP Fire can be countered? Surely that's not right, right? You play Takat on ladder all the time. I feel like I've seen Jim play Takat. Both gamers thinking about it. So HP Fire can be countered. That's insane. Yeah, it's like considered a normal move. Fair enough. Emerald Herald also chiming in the chat. Thank you for everybody's wisdom. I am learning. Thunderbolt happening versus Seismic Toss. Seismic Toss actually out damaging Thunderbolt. Oh my god, another crit. Dude, Takat is getting every crit. Full para could happen. Registeel could make it out of this alive. Oh my god, finally. No! Capital General finally got something to go his way and immediately saw his own full para. Not overly meaningful. You would have had a Registeel that's paralyzed left with like almost no health. But you also would not have had to give up initiative here. We brought the Dug in and trap and killed the mag. But Takat gets to pick something to come in on this. Likely something levitating, I would imagine. Takat in the chat, LOL, perfectly balanced. Yep, Ment's coming in. Okay, so Snorlax with Ment's and Mag representing physical. And just as I say it, never freaking mind. Please do not mind my commentary. Milo back in. Ment's likely going to have to get out of here. You just go to Snorlax, right? Because like Milo can't do anything to you. Yeah, Surf does 18%. There's no sand. Snorlax is chip healing back up to 88. And this feels like a pretty free curse. Alexa just click Body Slam and gets a timely para. Takat, I gotta say, Takat is getting like all the crits, all the paras, all the full para luck. I want to see a little bit of luck swing in the opposite direction for the fans. Milo coming in on a Fire Blast. Another critical hit. You didn't need that one, Takat, all right? Those critical hits were for everybody. Milo hanging out, getting back to fruition here. And everything remaining on Capital's side, pretty healthy. Suicune coming back in. Hasn't clicked a button yet. We're simply going to Calm Mind up. And last time, this lead Suicune, I don't know if it's the same exact team. Guess we could check. No, last time there was Sand and no Snorlax. But Calm Mind, was it Surf or Hydro Pump? It was Surf. So basically, what I'm saying is this, perhaps this Suicune doesn't have rest. Perhaps it's another lead Suicune that's just trying to get value and like race some damage down your face. Meteor Mash in the Scarm, no attack raise. Surprising that there's no attack raise. What does Scarm do here? You got a Spike. Do you want to get a second one? You do. Meteor Mash only doing 33. Scarm can vie for a third Spike here. Unrevealed last. And with Mag here, there's likely not, I mean, not necessarily likely not a spinner, but I guess I would imagine that with Mag, you just kind of accept that there's going to be one spike. You eliminate the Skarm. And by trapping and trying to kill the Reggie, that plan did not go according to plan. Good stuff to Capita for kind of keeping the Skarmory in his back pocket. That's a huge double attack raise. What is happening? Doug comes in and saves the day. And it's Heracross last. I thought the Salamence would come back in. Okay. So Hera is going to resist an Earthquake. How do you handle this one? You imagine Swords Dance is happening. It could be sub. One or the other. It is sub. Blissey is not too happy about this situation. But if she can break the sub before dying, then Doug can come in and revenge kill. Oh, we go to the Clay Doll. Uh-oh. Megahorn just insta-kills. Oh, man. I don't know. I don't know about that play. And whatever other attacking move you have, I think could very likely kill here. Just get your Salic. And yeah, no sand whatsoever. This Heracross is here for a while. Reversal just kills. And yeah, Swords Dance Reversal is going to go ahead and win. To Cat with the W. Definitely outplayed. Got a really nice amount of luck throughout games 1 and 2, especially game 1. But getting the Hera in, getting the sub up, going to the Blissey and then switching to the Clay Doll. I don't know what the Blissey set is, but maybe it's the case that you were never meant to go to that Blissey in the first place. Cat's using a sample team. Reversal is heat. 2 rounds ago, the set that I won, it was game 3, like kind of down to the wire. And it was kind of crazy. Let's see. There's no other Gen 3 matches happening right now. I'll pull it up. We can take a look at my round 4 match. Yeah, well, Reversal, you're calling out that they don't have tar, or you're running Weather Clear. So we'll kind of see how this goes. They lead tar, and my goal is to sweep with a Heracross in the back. So I had Zap lead. It's a meta. They bring the Skarm out. We're Meteor Mashing. We're getting a crit. We're getting a timely crit. You know, I will also occasionally get lucky. I admit it. And okay, I'm simply getting 2 crits in a row with the Rock Slide, but I'm getting outsped. Notice how this is. Oh, that was Roar. But I was getting outsped by this Skarmory. Isn't that crazy? Oh, scroll down a bit. My bad. We're looking at the wrong. I'm on the wrong setting. There we go. I feel like you probably didn't miss too much of the action, so we'll keep going here. All right, we pivot the Metagross back in after the Doug got roared in. We're rock sliding. I can't remember if I have a spinner. They got 3 spikes up. We eliminated the Skarm. Earthquake is doing a ton of damage. Meteor Mash, and this meta is like getting outsped by the entire world. I'm pretty sure this is another sample team or something that I found. I definitely did not build this, so sometimes I don't exactly know whether I should expect to outrun certain things or not. Just simple, like, HP Grass in the face of Clay Doll. It stays in and Psychics me. I don't think that was the right play by him. And I'm just getting, like, so much, like, chunk damage on what he's revealed. I decided just Thunderbolt. He gets a crit. Crit obviously didn't matter. And then I did that so we could bring the Doug in, eliminate the T-Tar. And now something can click. I don't even remember what the rest of the team is exactly, but his Doug comes in, wins a potential speed tie. I don't know how fast my Doug actually was. So obviously we click Rain Dance here. We have successfully eliminated Sand. Meta stepping in on a ton of spikes, getting Thunder Waved. Seismic Toss, I imagine probably just gets there. And he just sacks the Clay Doll to get in Milo. And this is a very passive last 3, so I'm thinking I'm probably okay. The rain boosted surf gets there. I don't know if needed rain boosted to deal 32 to metagross. Unclear to me. My head calcs aren't really all that. Missing the toxic, pretty unfortunate for him. And I'm hard pivoting the Kingdra in. I think the Suicune doesn't have rest, so I decided to pivot in on the Lum. And the thing is, the set I'm running with HeyYa is it's Endure, Salac, Reversal. So I cannot afford to get Toxicked. And I think that's mostly it. So basically, I need to engineer a situation where I can get the Heracross in on Blissey. Well, Blissey's click Thunderwave, but I kind of need to hope that it doesn't click Thunderwave when it sees the HeyYa. Like, if I'm in front of Milo, I feel like most Milos will probably just click Toxic. So I thought the most likely out was because like if it's the Doug, I can click Endure, but then I don't get the Swords Dance, and I thought I was gonna need the Swords Dance. So I'm like, I need to somehow have him kill one of my Pokemon with his Blissey. And I think that was my game plan here. I don't know exactly why I'm like switching around a bunch, but I'm Calm Minding up, so maybe I'm trying to like incentivize him to just keep Seismic Tossing me. That's just at 27%. I Hydro Pump to chunk it down a little bit, and he does kill me, so I'm able to get the HeyYa in. And here I'm like, if he Thunder Waves, he wins the game, and I lose because like Kingdra cannot get through Blissey, Kingdra cannot get through Milo. This HeyYa is like my only chance. But like, so I'm gonna Swords Dance, and if he clicks a move and puts me into Salac, then it's over. I also have Endure. That's the thing that's gonna happen. I Swords Dance, and he just Seismic Tosses. And I think he was worried about sub. So it's possible that he was in a spot where like he doesn't know the set, and it's kind of impossible for him to know what he's supposed to click. But that happens, and Reversal, even at 43% with Swords Dance, just kills. He brings the Doug in, we endure Salac on the Aerial Ace, and yeah. This is kind of like exactly what you want. Like, if you can get the Swords Dance, even better. Like, now you're like one-shotting basically everything in the format. Reversal easily kills that, and easily kills Milo from 100%. So, I'm not going to sit around and say that I think I played like a perfect game or anything, but once we got to the end game, I think I recognized my out, and I feel like I played to it well. It did, to me, basically come down to a 50-50 of like what he decided to click with that Blissey. And he must have been afraid of like sub punch or something, or like sub Salac. So yeah, sometimes we simply win, and that allowed me to make it to round 5 with a 3-1 record. Even losing, I'm moving on to round 6 with a 3-2 record. So that's cool. And I'm probably gonna call it. I've been live for about 3 hours. This has been really fun. I wasn't necessarily expecting so many people to jump in and say hi. So thanks to everybody who watched. Like I said, I definitely want to start streaming on like the last day of each round. That way, like, because I feel like a lot of people are gonna be like getting their matches in, and like it's kind of hype. We got to see a lot of fun stuff. I wonder if anything else is happening, like just out of curiosity. No other Gen 3 matches are happening. But yeah, I'm gonna keep posting videos to the channel. I still really appreciate all the support and everybody watching and commenting and liking and stuff. And if you guys ever like watch a fire set, just please let me know. Like, please message me on Discord or on Twitter, or like comment on the YouTube videos and be like, dude, please cover this set. That's what I want to do. I want to cover like the best sets, and I can only watch so many and like scout for so many on my own. But like as a community, if we're all kind of looking out for it, I'm taking requests. If you play a 6 set or know of anybody, that's what we're trying to do. Do I make my own thumbnails? I do. I was like really into Photoshop in like high school. Like I was like really into the official Nintendo forum that was called Insider back in like the late 2000s, like 2000, like circa 2007, 2008, I think. Maybe 09. Somewhere around there. After a couple years, they like discontinued the site, but that was like a magical place on the internet. And like, it was like a typical like old school like internet forum. Like there's different like boards like for like different topics like Zelda, Mario, Super Smash Brothers. And you had like, you know, your icon and like your username, and you had a signature. And most users had like a signature that was like 48 pixels tall by like 500 pixels wide or something like that. So you could put anything you wanted there, including images. So there's like this scene on that forum where people got into like using Photoshop. And if you didn't have the money for Photoshop and or didn't want to pirate Photoshop, people were using GIMP, which was like not what it is today. Like GIMP back then was a lot more limited, but it was so fun like getting into graphic design and like making like really dumb like abstract like images with like our favorite Nintendo characters, and like using text to put you know, like our usernames, and like just like expressing like our own like individuality and personality in the signature. That was like a magical time on the internet, bro. And that's kind of like where I like got some of my Photoshop chops. And I've like worked on some projects over the years, and this isn't my first time doing content. I've made like a lot of like Super Smash Brothers Melee content as well, and that experience definitely put me in a good spot to kind of hit the ground running with this project, and it's been really fun. So again, thanks to everybody who's tuned in. I'll go live again at some point. I don't know how like regular it'll be, but the uploads will remain regular, and that's all I got. See you guys next time.